Ano ka? Ilan mo na dyan? Oops.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Hello po, good evening. Naririnig ho ba ako? Good evening
Yes po, good evening.
Ma'am Jaira. Ma'am, host na po ako, no? Tama ba? Ma'am Jaira. Hello po.
Okay na po, sir.
Okay, sige po. Sige. Good evening everyone. Good evening everybody. How is everybody doing? Pasensya, I got very late because for a while muna ha. Yun, sige po. Good morning, good evening everyone. Pasensya, I got very late because kakalabas ko lang from the office, you know. It's December and then we had a lot of things to do. Yes po. We had a lot of things to do, so yun, kailangan marami kasing programs and services na pinuprovide ng LGU in times of December. Like dito sa Davao City, ang mayor namin ay nagbibigay ng tinatawag natin mga pahalipay or yung mga gift check. So we had to prepare for that. So yun, that's why nag-out ako from the office at 6 p.m. and then I took a ride pa to home and then medyo na traffic. Yun, pasensya. Okay, I really have to explain because I know that your time is very precious and considering that is that our lecture for today or our discussion will be evening. Sige po. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Habib de la Cruz Pagilogon. Hello po. Okay. My name is Habib de la Cruz Pagilogon. I will be your lecturer. Okay. I will be your lecturer for this evening. I guess this is 3 consecutive evenings. So my topics are the social environment in social work. Next is the social change and development perspective. And then last is the Philippine social realities. So nag-iisang gabi yan for 3 days. And I hope na mag-i-stay pa kayo for that 3 days. And then also I do hope for a fruitful and participative discussion or interactive discussion sa ating sa ating lecture. Friendly reminder or quick reminder lamang, hindi pa po ako nag-share screen. Quick reminder lang po lamang, magtatagalog ba ako? Medyo pangit yung Tagalog ko ha because I am a Bisaya. Okay lang ba? Please bear with my Tagalog. I'm not really used to speaking Tagalog.
Okay lang po, sir.
Ay ka na tali mabati ang kadto.
So friendly reminder, kindly turn off your microphone when unnecessary, okay? I know that you have a lot of things to do. Some of you right now are doing simultaneous na mga gawain and then quick ito lang, share lang din kasi according to research, the more you do multitasking, the lesser you become productive or the lesser your attention or your learning span is to the subject. And then you may turn on your video, pero if mahina naman yung connection, okay lang naman na i-turn off yung cam. And then for me, I will be turning off my cam kasi medyo intermittent yung aking connection dito. And then also, please do chat me or do inform if putol-putol or sir, nawala na ako. Mahina ang boses ko. I'm sorry. Mahina ba? I'm trying to use. Wait lang ha. I will be using a headset or I'm trying to use wireless na headset or headphone. Pero hindi kasi nag-work kanina. Oo, I'm trying to. Medyo mahina ba boses or ano ba? Kailangan kong mag-adjust?
Sakto lang po, sir.
Okay. Yung iba, kung nahihinaan sa boses, pwede sigurong gumamit ng headset or headphone. Okay? Para at least, sakto lang po pag naka-earphones. I will try to use earphone ha, kasi, sige, wait lang.
Okay kayo, sir.
Hello? Eto ba? Mas okay ba to? Hello?
Yes po, sir.
Okay, mas okay to. Sige.
Yes, sir. Mas maliwanag.
Okay. Gumamit na ako ng headset. Sige. Okay.
So, new batch.
Anyway, tama ba ako? New batch? Mga old na first time nyo akong na-encounter in a lecture? Second time na or ano? First time?
First time, sir. First time, sir.
Po, sir.
Kasi may nakita akong name kanina na parang nakita ko na siya sa previous batches ng CQA. Okay, sige. Thank you. Noted. Kasi baka the same lang kasi yung topic ko mostly sa CQA eh. So baka ma-double na ang aking discussion. Yun. Baka magiging redundant. Okay, sige. Thank you. That's noted. Sige. So our first topic will be human behavior and social environment. Isa sa pinakamahirap na area in the board exam. Sa board exam, we have 5 areas. Ang first area is HBSC. Ang second area, second time po sa first batch. So ma'am, ano ba yung Ma'am Maricel Villa Alba? So ano ba yung na-discuss ko last time sa inyo? So I mean, I understand your nakaano na ako sa inyo, right? Ma'am, anong topic yon? Ma'am Maricel, last time.
Social change and development po, sir.
Okay, so I will siguro maybe tomorrow or the next day I will be discussing social change and development. So parang magiging recap na lang yun, ma'am, ang mangyayari.
Yes po.
Sige. Okay. Feel ko talaga may mga nag-ano second time. Sige. Okay, wait lang. So na ba tayo? Saya. Area 1, HBSC. Area 2, SWPP. I hope you do take note, ha? And then, second din po. Okay, sige po. Noted. Yung mga second po, again, I'm here, I'm back. Please bear with me. And then if you have other questions also na hindi ko na-clarify last time, please do share or please do raise it. And the third area is before separated ang social work methods. It is a 150 item na area, 50 items per 50 items for group work at saka 50 items for community organizing. However, ngayon, sinabay na siya with the field practice. So ang area 3 is ang social work method 1 with field instruction 1. So that's a 100 item question. Ang first half or ang 1 to 50 is about methods. Basically, what is about casework. And then ang second half, 51 to 100 is about cases. So one case, ang tanong, ang corresponding questions for that ay 5. Okay? And then next area is ang group work. And then last area natin ay ang community organizing. So ang topic ko ngayon will be HBSE. Under HBSE, meron tayong 5 na area subjects under that. So first is ang Filipino personality, yung theories of personality natin. Second is ang social deviation na mga topics. Then third is social environment. The next is social change and development perspective. And then lastly is ang Philippine social realities. So ang first 2 topics, i-discuss siya ng separate speaker. And I guess ang magsi-speak niyan ay si Ma'am Nikki Alburo, okay? Social work program head ng University of Mindanao and at the same time top notcher din siya sa social work noong 2015. But ako yung magdadiscuss sa inyo ng 3 topics, yung social environment, social change at saka ang Philippine social realities. So, human behavior and social environment, HBSE. Pag sinabi nating human behavior, what do we mean with that? Ano yung pinag-aaralan natin? Sige daw. Ano yung pinag-aaralan natin? Actually, hindi pa ako makapag-dinner kasi nag-hop na ako into discussing na later na lang ako magdi-dinner. Pero sige, yung question ko, pag sinabi natin human behavior, ano yung pinag-aaralan natin dyan? Sige daw. Sige daw, please.
Attitude, sir.
Attitude, correct. What else?
Theory. Personality.
Personality, correct. Ano pa?
Social norm.
Current events.
Social norm. Current events.
Persons.
Deviance.
I-discuss ko na lang to ha, itong introduction.
Defense mechanism.
Ako ba yung maunang mag-discuss no, sa inyo? Ako ba yung first lecturer nyo? Tama ba? Or nag-lecture na kayo ng Orange Book or something?
Second po, sir.
Second. So, yung first nyo ay Orange Book? May PowerPoint pa ako, ma'am. Pero sige lang. Second ako, okay. Yung first lecturer nyo, ano yung subject niya? Yeah, it's about how people react to certain situation, correct? Sige daw. Ano yung subject ng first speaker niyo? Ano yung subject niya?
Social work foundation.
Okay. Parang basically orange book, parang gano'n. Tama ko? Right? Sige. Okay. What else? What else? It's about how people react. It's about personality. It's about behavior, attitude, defense mechanism, practices. Okay. Personality of. So ano yung commonality natin pag sinabi natin human behavior? What do we understand or what do we learn to what do we study pag sinabi natin behavior? It is the ano?
Yeah.
It is the behavior, yeah. Pag sinabi nating behavior, kaninong behavior? It is the behavior of the
Person.
It is the behavior of the client or the person. Okay? Na human behavior talks about the person, our clienteles. Okay, pag sinabi nating clienteles ang person, mayroon tayong tinatawag social welfare perspective, biopsychosocial spiritual well-being ng ating mga kliyente. So doon specifically on psychological na aspect ng ating mga clients. So human behavior pertains to tao, person. Social environment meaning ang environment ng tao. Okay? So human behavior meaning tao yung pinag-aaralan at saka ang social environment niya. So that is basically human behavior and social environment na area. Okay? So this area focuses on the knowledge about the individual. Okay? Yung sinasabi ko, bio, pag sinabi natin bio, the physical needs of the person. Okay? Then psychological needs of the person. And social, the interpersonal needs of the person or yung how a person interacts with the environment. Idagdag na din natin yung spiritual kasi part of that. Part of also understanding the person is kailangan also we have to understand the spiritual aspect of him or her. Then the interaction between him or her and the physical, social, cultural, political, and economic forces in the environment which affect or influence the behavior. Then you, reviewers, are expected to first analyze individual, group family, community, and organization behavior in the context of Philippine cultures, apply theories of human behavior in understanding or assessing individuals, families, groups, communities, and organizations, analyze patterns of family dynamics, processes, and how they affect family members, explain local, national, regional, and global realities and their impact on functioning, relations, and welfare of individuals, families, groups, and communities, explain the forms, mechanisms, and consequences of oppression and discrimination based on class, gender, race, and ethnicity and identity, analyze how gender informs identity, social processes, and relations, and lastly, apply understanding of social processes and social structures in working with collectivities of people. So, makikita natin dito sa mga objectives ng human behavior and social environment, dito align yung 5 subject. I hope it's clear. And discuss ko, I will be first discussing the social environment. Okay lang ba i-discuss yung social environment? So, ano yung pleasure ng body? Should we go with social environment, Philippine social realities, or social change? Actually, dapat mauna yung, supposedly dapat, mauna yung human behavior, human behavior, yung topics on theories of personality at saka social deviation. Pero medyo nagka-conflict ng schedules and then nag-swap kami ni Ma'am Nikki ng schedule. Pero sige, anyways, pwede naman natin mauna yung social environment. Sige, ano yung pleasure ng body? Ano yung first i-discuss natin? Social environment, social change, Philippine social realities. So ano? Social environment na lang? Okay lang ba? Social environment? Okay. Sige, social environment. Okay. Can you see my screen? Nakikita ba ang screen ko?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yung iba, feel ko matutulog na. Okay. Sige. Social environment and social work, the family, groups, and community organizations. So, yeah, my name is Habib de la Cruz Pagilogon. I am a registered social worker. So, quick background na lang of myself. I graduated last April 2019 from a Bachelor of Science in Social Work at the University of Mindanao, Davao City. And I placed in the boards. I am a 7th placer in the board exam year 2019. And currently, I work as a social work associate at the City Government of Davao under the Children's Welfare Section or Division. So, yun. Nakatoka ako sa cases on child laborer, badyaw, And ano pa ba? Child laborer, badyaw. Then also my special project na in charge ako, which is ang social development program of a project here in Davao City, ang high priority bus system project. Okay? So yun. And then currently, I'm taking up my master's degree, Master in Public Administration at the University of Mindanao. So I'm now doing my thesis. Okay? So social environment and social work. Pag sinabi nating social environment, we talk about the family, the groups, and community organizations of the person or the client natin or the individual. Okay? And then idadagdag ko din dito ang organizational behavior because lumabas siya sa board exam namin before. And yeah, wala namang mawala kung i-discuss ko siya a bit. Okay? So yun. Yan, okay. So, in discussing social environment, we have to understand the concept of social functioning. Ano ba yung social functioning? Sige daw. Without looking at your books, because I believe you must understood very well or thoroughly what social functioning is at this point in time. Because
Sir,
mga
putol-putol
graduates
ka
na
po.
kayo. Okay, sige. For a while. Hello, ito po. Okay na ho ba? Hello?
Yes,
Okay na, sir.
po.
Yes, sir.
Okay na, sir. Okay na.
And let's just... Mahina rin kasi yung internet connection ko. Sige. Social functioning. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng social functioning?
It's all about sa person, sir.
It's about the person, correct? Pero what's about the person? Ha? Interaction of a man to his environment. Pag sinabi natin interaction, what do we mean by that? It's the
Social relationship.
social relationships, correct? Ano pa? Ano pa?
Process.
Process, okay. Person's performance of his or her social roles. Yeah. Social functioning, it's about the interaction of the person in his or her environment. And then that interaction, we mean to that by the performance of the individual of his or her roles to the expectations of the environment. So basically, it's about the interaction or relationship of the person and the environment. Okay? So, saan okay, ability to fulfill the role. Yeah. So, saan nagpe-play ng role si social worker? Pag ang kliyente natin ay na-didisposition. Okay? There is a disconnect between the person at saka the environment. It might be problems due to biological, walang pagkain, walang shelter, pwede. Psychological, may mga personality or behavioral problems. Spiritual, yeah, pwede din, or whatsoever. Ang daming pwedeng magiging rason kung bakit nagiging dysfunctional ang isang tao. Okay? So, it could be, ang cause niya, kung titingnan natin yung orange book, pwedeng ang personal inadequacy, or ang shortcomings, or mismo ang tao ang may cause. Ang environment niya is number 2, or both. Okay?
Situational, personal.
Yeah. Okay. So, in understanding social functioning, it is very important to understand kasi doon nakabank ang ating understanding of a relationship of the individual to his environment. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin environment, so kung titingnan natin itong diagram, ang social functioning na ito, this pertains to the client or the person, or the individual that we are referring to. And then, having or that person or that individual interacts with the environment. Pag sinabi natin environment, we mean to it sa kanyang communities, families, and groups kung saan siya na-belong. And then, all this environment or social environment of the client, itong communities, families, and groups are affected by a bigger societal forces. Okay? Societal forces, this may be political, social, or whatsoever. For example, COVID-19 pandemic. Okay? That's a social issue. It's not just about health issue. It's also about social issues. It affects the families. May nagkasakit, may tinamaan ng COVID. So, yun. It is now related not just by health but also socially kasi they are really human beings. Diba? May feelings, may needs. Kailangan ng mga agarang lunas, for example. And then that family is now affecting the person. It might not be ako, hindi ako na COVID, but pag may pamilya ako or family member na COVID, in some way or another, I will be affected. My social functioning will be disrupted. So that's how crucial understanding social environment is. Okay? In connecting to the person. It's not just the person na ina-understand natin. Okay? So yung mga topics natin later on, we will all be tackling or focusing on the environment of the person. Not really on the person himself or herself. Kasi doon yun magpo-fall under the theories of personality at saka social deviation. Okay? Sige. If you have questions, feel free to raise. Okay? Pwede ding later, pwede ding during the discussion. Kasi baka hindi mo, or baka makalimutan mo for whatever reason. Okay? So first, we will understand families. Okay? Family dynamics. Pag sinabi natin dynamics, what do we mean with that? Sige daw. What do we mean by dynamics? Sige daw. Guys, nawala ako? Hello? 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 Changes. Very good. So, pag sinabi natin dynamics, we mean to that as changes. Okay? Changes in the structure, relationship, interaction, or basically, the processes inside the family. Or what constitutes, or what, ano ba yung mga, what comprises family? Okay? So, that's what we mean by family dynamics. Now, first, what is a Filipino family? Sige daw. Patterns, yon, correct din. Sige daw, think, reflect, and then share. What do we mean by Filipino family? Sige daw, for those who are willing to share, paki-share naman po if in case, if you are willing.
Isang characteristic po ng Filipino family, close family ties.
Okay, my closeness. Okay, correct. What else? What else? Pagkabuklod-buklod. Yeah, closeness. What else? extended family. True. As what you can see in the picture, ang dami nila, right? May mga, even may mga apo
Lolo.
na. Yeah, that's a Filipino family. That's correct. What else? What else? Continuous? What do you mean by continuous, ma'am? Family-oriented. Very good. Okay? Very good. So yun. There are various or there are family bonding. Na family traits or Filipino family traits, okay? Or characteristics. Okay, 5 of those is that number 1, mayroon silang values the presence of family. Yun, tama yung sinabi nyo na family-oriented. That's very correct. Patriarchal in nature, led by a male or a father. If not the father, yung next to father is mother. If wala yung mother, next to the mother is yung oldest
Eldest.
son. Yun. So yun. So it is patriarchal kasi mostly headed by males. Okay? Next, difficulties of letting go of their children. That's why nagkakaroon tayo ng extended family. Diba? And then strong respect to elderly. Yeah. Related to that is the concept of extended family. Pag extended, hindi tayo American na kung saan when you are aged, most of the Americans, nilalagay nila sa mga retirement homes, yun, or home for the aged, ang kanilang pamilya, or ang kanilang grandfather or mother. Pero sa atin, hindi. Ba? Tayo yung nag-aalaga. That's what Filipino family is. And then, lastly, mayroon silang close connections to relatives. Right? It is not just the conjugal family, but they extend it to consanguinal families. Yeah, family of procreation, yeah. Step families, yeah, may emerging yan siya na issue. Not necessarily an issue, a trend in Filipino family. Later on, i-discuss natin siya. But hindi yan yung nature talaga ng Filipino family kasi medyo conventionally speaking, Filipino families are not step families. Okay? Now, so that's what Filipino family is. But now, what is a family? If that's the case, ano ba yung family? Ang family daw, walang exact definition of what family is. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na ang pamilya ay composed of mama, papa, at saka may anak. Hindi pwede. Kasi maraming forms of family. Pwedeng tayo, magkakaibigan, we are family. Yun. That's another form of family. Pwedeng step family. Right? My stepfather, not biologically related to the person, but yeah, step ko siya. Stepfather ko siya. But still, you are considered a family. Diba? And some more other forms of family. Okay? Wala siyang exact definition kasi nagbe-base siya sa family types. Ang family types, tinitingnan natin dito yung socio-economic characteristics. That's number 1. The educational level or income level. May pamilyang abogado. May pamilyang doktor. May pamilyang dukha. Okay? But still, they are considered family. Structure. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. May mga married. May couple without dependent children. But still family din sila, even though wala silang anak. Then may mga single parent also. It's either never married or separated, divorced, or widowed. Meron ding two-parent family household. Foster family, adoptive family, estranged family, nuclear. Meron din tayong tinatawag na family life cycle. Depende din dyan. May mga pamilyang walang anak, mayroong pamilyang may mga preschoolers with school age, yun, and whatsoever. And then family context also, may pamilyang Bisaya, may pamilyang Tagalog, Ilocano, may pamilyang Muslim, may pamilyang Kristan, may pamilyang Manubo, then religious, yun na yun, informal social networks, friends or neighbors, relationship to community, at saka mayroong pamilyang nakatira sa urban, may pamilyang nakatira sa rural. So there is no exact definition of a family. A family is defined based on their types. Pag sinabi natin types, tinitingnan natin ang characteristic, structure, context, at saka stage ng kanilang family life cycle. Understood? I hope it is. Now, another concept of understanding what a family is that we look into the Oriental at saka Occidental views. Pag sinabi nating Oriental views, that is traditional. Oriental, sige, think of a map. Pag Oriental, most likely, dito sila nalolocate sa East. So they are the Asians. Pag Asians, patriarchal. Right? Seldom ka lang makakakita ng pamilyang matriarchal or yung both heads of the family. Pero most likely, pag traditional siya, Asian particularly, they are patriarchal, headed by a father. Okay? Or the oldest male. Occidental naman, Western naman to. Ito yung mostly present sa European countries or sa US. They are egalitarian. Pag sinabi natin egalitarian, they are not patriarchal. However, they are equal in terms of heading the family. Both the mother and the father leads the family. It is not only the sole responsibility or the primary responsibility of a father, but both of them has the responsibility. Okay? So that's how we understand it. Pag egalitarian, key-term natin dyan, equal. So we understand what are the family patterns at saka changing roles. So there are types of family organization. Two types. Pag sinabi natin nuclear, mama, papa, anak. So that is nuclear. Okay? Extended naman, mama, papa, anak, apo. And then apo sa tuhod. Ninang, tawag nito, tita, tito, lahat. Extended siya. Extended siya kasi in-extend siya from the nuclear. Okay? May doon na, for example, sa isang household, doon nakatira si tita, si tito, si mama, si papa, ako, ang anak ko. So that is already extended. Okay? Understand ba? I hope it is. Next. Trends. Ito. May other types tayo ng family. Pag sinabi natin dual income families, dalawa silang nagtatrabaho. Okay? Si mama teacher, si papa police. So they are dual income families. Single parent families. Si mama lamang ang nag-raise sa akin, si papa lamang ang nag-raise sa amin. So that is single parent family. Step family, may stepfather ako, may stepmother ako, may stepbrother, stepsister. Same-sex couples. Okay? Pareha, homogeneous. Ako at saka yung partner ko na lalaki din. So yeah, we are same-sex couples and then may anak kami. Okay? Anak namin, it's either adopted or pwedeng yung isang yung mayaman na LGBT. Yon. Pwede yon.
Surrogacy.
Surrogacy, pwede. Pwede din. Pero yung surrogacy kasi, I guess, yung sperm ng mother at saka ng father doon lumaki or doon dinevelop sa womb ng different woman. Pero yung isa, yung parang i-inject sa isang babae ang sperm ng isang lalaki. Or for example, ng isang part of, ng LGBT for example. And then doon papalakihin ang mga or ang anak. So that's probably how same-sex couples have their child or children. Then there are types of nuclear family. First is ang family of orientation and next is ang family of procreation. Pag sinabi nating family of orientation, ito yung pamilya kung saan lumaki ang bata. I-term natin, lumaki ang bata. Family of procreation, kung saan pinanganak ang bata. Okay? Or ang isang tao. So that's type of family. Kasi pwedeng nuclear ako, for example, stepmother, stepfather, and then ako yung anak. Okay? So technically, I can connect myself to the family in a way na ako ay tipong pamilya namin ay ang orientation. Kasi hindi naman ako yung biological na anak ng aking stepfather. Okay? So yun, that's how we understand it. Orientation, kung saan lumaki ang isang tao. Procreation, kung saan pinanganak ang tao. Next, points of interaction. So points of interaction, anong level or at what certain point do members of the family interact with each other? So first is ang parent or parent-of-child relationship. Mama at saka ang kanyang anak, papa at saka ang kanyang anak. Husband and wife relationship. Yeah. Papa at saka mama. Sibling relationship. Ate at saka si kuya. So that's the points of interaction. Then types of family structures. We have conjugal at saka consanguineal family. Pag sinabi natin conjugal family, that is by marital bond. By marital bond. Or we refer to that as the nuclear family. Okay? Pag sinabi nating marital bond, may mama, papa. Yun. At saka, may mga anak. Pag consanguineal naman, it emphasizes blood ties. So, para siyang extended na, yun, nagkakaroon ng also ng interaction, strong interaction between the nuclear family and their relatives, like tito, tita, lolo, lola. Yun. So, that's consanguineal already. Okay lang ba yung discussion natin? I want it very simple lang in terms of explaining it kasi we have limited time and then I have over 100 slides. Okay lang? Medyo ano siya? Anyway, the topic naman is hindi naman ganyan ka-hard.
Okay lang po.
Okay naman po. Clear naman po. Okay na okay, sir.
Okay. Sige. Next natin, types of families based on descent. Sabot-tabol kaayo, sir. Okay, sige. Based on descent. Example natin dito yung mga namamana. Example, patrilineal. Pag patrilineal, related to the father. Pag matrilineal, related to the mother. And then bilateral, related to both. For example, example lang ito ay ang landi-landi niya. Kasi naman na yun sa kanyang ina. Kasi ang kanyang ina ay PIP or person in prostitution. So that is based on understanding families based on descent. Kung saan siya talaga lumaki or namana niya or na-acquire niya ang ganyang characteristic. Ay, napakatapang talaga niyan. Mana-mana sa kanyang papa. So that is patrilineal. Pwede din sabihin natin, physical characteristic, ay ang ganyan ng kanyang mata. Bilog na bilog. Ay, manang-mana sa kanyang papa. O pwede din. Okay? I hope it's understood clear. Pag both characteristics of the mother and the father. Next, types of families based on residence. Saan nakatira ang pamilya after they get married. So first is patrilocal. Pag patrilocal, near the parents of the groom. Okay? Lalaki, si papa, si mama. Doon sila nakatira sa side ng papa. Okay? Parents ng papa. Matrilocal, doon naman sila nakatira after their marriage near the parents of the bride. Sa mama naman. Or sa babae. Babae or lalaki na lang nito para madali natin ma-catch. By local, either both or pwedeng palipat-lipat. January, dito sila. February, dito lilipat. Or mag-vacation for May, yun. Pwede yun. By local. Or neo-local, independent. They are living independently. Hindi sila nagdedepend sa kanilang parents. Neo-local, abongko-local, near maternal uncle of the groom. Ito kasi, pag may mga instances na tawag nito, maternal uncle of the groom. Pag for example, namatay ang groom or yung mga ganong bagay and hindi makakapag-reside ang tawag nito ang babae on her or herself. So or pwedeng hindi niya kaya yung responsibility for that child. So pwedeng tumakbo dito sa maternal uncle of the groom. Okay? Yung kasi yung mga another, pag lalo yung nag-hear, for example, namatay ang papa at an early age, and then may 5 silang anak, and then ang mother walang trabaho. So, yun. So, pwedeng kupkupin doon sa maternal uncle of the groom para yung maternal uncle of the groom, sila yung mag-help deciding or helping yung naiwan na pamilya ng groom. Okay? So, that's avungko local. Next naman, types of families based on authority. Who decides? Kanina, kung saan sila pwedeng or kung saan sila titira. Ngayon naman, kapag tumira sa bahay ng kapatid na babae na nag-asawa na, sir. Kapatid, anong tawag doon? Actually, I just based it dito sa 5. And then as what I see to it, parang hindi siya covered dito, right? No, hindi siya covered dito. Hindi siya covered. Sige lang. Medyo hindi naman ito lumalabas talaga sa board exam. Kung lalabas man siguro, ito yung top 3 local at saka ito yung first 4. Saldam lang kasi itong 5.
Mga sample questionnaire po, kalimitan.
Ano po? Ano, ma'am? Kapag tumira sa bahay ng
Mga
kapatid,
sample questionnaire.
may lumabas na ganito?
Opo, sa mga sample questionnaire ng ibang ano po.
So ano yung
Ibang-
choices doon? Ano yung choices? Para maano natin.
Yan po,
Mahina
yung
na.
Avon Collocal.
Tumira sa bahay ng kapatid na babae.
Opo.
Ng asawa. So, you mean yung asawa, yun yung groom. Yeah. That's a bongko local. If that's the case, kung ang asawa na ito ay lalaki. But that's happened talaga pag usually pag namamatay yung groom, then may naiwan siyang pamilya. So, doon titira. Okay? Sige. Okay, dito tayo sa authority. Pag patriarchal, oldest male, it's the father. Pag walang father, mother. And then pag walang mother, yun yung oldest na son or eldest son. Matriarchal naman, ang authority is vested on the mother or mother's kin. Or ang pamilya ng mother side. Equalitarian, meaning equal. It could be the father or the mother. And then matricentric, prolonged absence of father gives the mother authority. For example, family ang head of the family, ang father ay seaman or police, sundalo, ba? Ilang buwan yan silang wala sa bahay. So matricentric ang kanilang form of family kasi ang father seldom lang umuwi. Pero pag umuwi ang father, ang authority ay kay papa. Okay, next. Family functions. So there are functions of family. So try to assess here if in case you are still single, if kaya nyo ibigay ito, then go ahead. Pero pag hindi, I suggest wag muna magpamilya because ang hirap talaga magpamilya. So number 1, it regulates sexual behavior and it is the unit for reproduction. Okay? Related to that is the concept of family planning. Tayo ang nagre-regulate ilan at kailan ang anak natin or ang magiging anak natin. Okay? Kasi tayo ang unit of reproduction. We produce offspring. Performs the function of biological maintenance. Pag sinabi natin biological maintenance, the needs of the person or the physical needs like pagkain, health needs, medical needs, yun. Pinoprovide yun ng pamilya. Pag nagkasakit ang anak, obligado ang pamilya, ang mama at saka ang papa na kailangan nilang ipadoktor yun. That's part of their family function. Then the family is the chief agency for socializing the child. So, ang pamilya is the basic unit of the family. So, siya ang nagpapalaki ng kanyang anak. Okay? Anong klaseng tao ka man in the near future, that is how you are being raised by your family. Okay? So, i-raise mo ang child mo na a good person kasi in the long run, magiging mabuti siyang tao. Okay? Dapat turuan mo ng proper values. That's how you socialize. You learn. That's how you teach socialization sa bata. Okay? Next, the family gives its members status. Pinapag-aral tayo ng mama at papa natin para tayo maging, for example, registered social worker. So that is our status. Okay? Maging lawyer. So that's our status. Maging doktor. Magkaroon ng PhD degree. So that is our status. Or who we are right now. How we define ourselves right now. Our status. That is because of our family. Then, it is an important mechanism for social control. Kasi, social control, for example, nire-regulate yan. Bawal kang malate. Okay? Curfew mo 10 p.m. Kasi pag lalagpas ka ng 10 p.m., baka you might be put in danger. Mapano ka sa labas. So that's how we control our family members. Proper etiquette, values. Social control means also establishing or institutionalizing punishments. Right? Grounded ka for 1 month. So that is social control para i-regulate mo ang behavior ng mga anak specifically. Other functions includes economic, educational, laro. Diba? It is the right of the child to have his or her own recreational activities. At saka religion and political. Ano yung political views niya? Diba? Lalo na ngayon, coming na ang election. So, ang hati ang pamilya, right? So yun, let it be. May boboto kay Lenny, may boboto kay BBM, may boboto kay Calyodi, kay Rastaman. So let them be. Okay? Because we have our function na i-respect yan as a family. Religion also. May families na mix. May Muslim, may Christian, may Catholic, may Buddhist. So yun, that's part of also our family function. Okay? Or pwede din, turuan mo yung pamilya mo na dapat Catholic lang. So, depende na yun sa inyo. But wag mong i-impose. Okay? Then, next is the understanding the family as a system na may different parts. Okay, first is family boundaries. May question ba at this point? May question ba at this point? Wala.
Wala po.
Wala po, sir.
Okay. So, family boundaries. So, pag sinabi natin family boundaries, it refers to the members and their roles, norms, values, and etc. So, basically, a boundary is like an identity. Okay? We identify ourselves or we think of ourselves as who we are right now because of our roles, our norms, our values, our status. Okay? And then we act according to it. So there are types of family boundaries. First is ang random. Pag sinabi natin random, unhealthy, lack clarity on boundaries, at saka each member seems to be doing his or her own thing. Di ba may mga pamilyang walang pakialamanan? Business mo yan, business ko to. Whatever happens to you, if you need my help, then I will be willing to help you. But if you do not need my help, then be it. Hands off. Okay? May kanya-kanya tayong life. That is random families. Very unhealthy siya at some point kasi nga dapat close kayo as a family. You should have positive relationship with each other. Then kung random kayo, walang pakialamanan, how would you expect your family to be reared or to be a socially functioning na family, right? If you're random, very too rigid. Not too rigid. Very too diffuse. Kaiba siya sa close family. Ang close family, unhealthy din to. And then very rigid. with well-defined roles and family stability is of great importance. Very specific or very close masyado. Hindi masyado sila nagpapa-apekto from the outside. Sila-sila lang. Defined roles. Dito, ang pinaka-concrete ko na example is, yung pamilyang puro babae ang anak. Diba? Very protective masyado ang father kasi siya lang yung isang lalaki and then ang kanyang mga anak ay babae, protektahan niya at all costs ang kanyang mga anak na babae. So they tend to be rigid. These are rules. Rules talaga to. Kailangan sundin. Kung hindi mo yan susundin, ipapunish kita or magkakaroon ka ng corresponding consequence for that. Okay? And then, kailangan stable ang pamilya natin. Okay? Wala akong pakialam on how really you feel, but our main goal or purpose is really to make our family intact. So that is very close. That's unhealthy as well. Open family is the healthy one. Kasi mayroon silang clear boundary, balance, at saka flexible. There are times na random sila, there are times na close, depending on the situation. Tama naman, right? If we employ social control to the family, kailangan talaga ng social control para ma-divert ang misbehavior ng isang family member, then pwede tayong mag-employ ng close for that certain point para makorek lamang. Pero pwede namang random. Random meaning, there are times na hayaan na lang natin, give him or her space. Pero dapat balance. Still, pag balance kasi, you are adhering to the positive relationship of your family. Now, kanina, it's about boundaries. Ngayon naman, structural patterns. Pag structural patterns, sinikin na natin, these are the rules. Rules could be formal or informal, which is about who may or may not participate in any family activity. Pag sinabi natin healthy, this family is also like an open family. Hindi sila masyadong rigid or mahigpit, and hindi naman sila masyadong diffuse or medyo open masyado. That is a healthy family. Pag enmesh naman, close talaga, very rigid. In terms of participation in a family, only the mother and the father will decide kung ano yung dapat mangyari sa pamilya. Ine-exclude yung kanilang mga anak. Pag disengage naman, to diffuse. Hindi din pwede kasi may kanya-kanyang buhay. Kung walang say ang kanyang father o kanyang mother sa kung ano yung choice ng kanyang anak. Hindi naman magandang ganon. Diba? Dapat also, you have to hear out other members' opinion as well. Okay? So that pertains to structural patterns. Ang enmesh kanina is close. Ito namang disengage kanina ay random family. So i-relate na lang yun natin kasi magkatugma naman sila. Family alignment. Parang points of interaction kanina. So, pag family alignment, this refers to the joining or opposition of one member to the other. Para siyang interaction of family members. Pag sinabi natin spouse subsystem, so ang family is a system in itself. Pag sinabi natin system, mayroon siyang different subsystems. So, spouse subsystems, pag spouse meaning mama at saka papa. They are a subsystem, one of the subsystems in the family. Parental subsystem, para rin siyang parent between the child. Sibling subsystem, para rin siya between sister at saka brother or sister, brother. Then parent-child subsystem, kanina para siyang parental subsystem, at saka ang adult elderly subsystem. Pwede siyang anak at saka ang kanyang papa, pwede din parent or child, or pwede din papa at saka ang kanyang mama, or papa and your grandmother or father. Okay? Sige. Next, interactional patterns in the family. Pag sinabi natin interactional patterns, this means the factors that contribute to the healthy family. So ano ba yung mga factor na pwede nating masabing, ay, ang isang pamilyang to ay healthy? First is, in terms of marriage at saka expression of feelings. Pag marriage, meron sila yung tinatawag na there is power relations. Okay? Ang power relations ay equal. Pwedeng si mama, pwedeng si papa, or pwede rin si anak in case the situation calls for that. May closeness with each other, open communication, and then may problem-solving abilities, able to decide or rationally decide on what to do if this certain situation happens. Then expression of feelings, which pertains to dealing of loss. Pag pag mayroong namatay, di ba? Yon, if the family is able to grieve and then after that is able to cope with it positively, right? Then family values, may strong family values. Depende na yan kung ano yung i-embed na family value ng parent sa kanilang pamilya. At saka intimacy at saka autonomy. Intimate at times they keep spaces. And then they are close with each other at also certain times. And then there are autonomous. May sariling buhay also, and then we have also to understand na each family member ay may different decision making or choices in life. Need satisfaction. Ang need satisfaction, di ba pag nagkaroon tayo ng anak, we have to satisfy the needs of our children. Okay? So first is survival. Okay, ito. There are how many rights of a child according sa UNCRC? Sige daw. Ilan? Ilan ba? Ilan ba, guys? Still there? 10 po. Sige, ano yung 10? Ano yung 10? Pag sinabi nating bata, ang edad ng bata ay, according sa Philippine laws, ang edad ng bata ay, please open your mic. This is the time na hopefully, mag-open kayo ng mic.
0 to 17.
0 to 17. So pag for example 17 years and 3 months, hindi na siya bata. Tama ako?
Bata pa rin.
So hindi siya covered ng 0 to 17. For example, may CICL. Ang case niya ay heinous crime. Nakapag-rape siya. Ang edad niya ay 17 years old at saka 6 months. 6 months to go, 18 na siya. Magiging age of majority na siya. So, ang bata ay minor o hindi?
Minor po.
Minor po.
Minor po.
We have to be crucial with that. Ang minor ay below 18 years of age. Okay? Below 18. That's minor. And then, yon. Maganda rin sana pag-usapan kasi under kasi ako sa children section. So, magandang pag-usapan sana if we have time. Right? Like, I somehow have the brief background about CICL, children in conflict with the law, children at risk, mga ganong bagay. Ano yung diversion, yun. Medyo may background na po konti. And then also, below 18 and then above 18, na incapable of taking good care of themselves. Yung mga PWD. So yun, they are still considered child. So, balik tayo sa tanong ko, ano yung basic rights of a child? Sa local, meron tayong tinatawag na LCPC. Okay? Local Local Council for the Protection of Children. So, it is divided, ang council ay divided into 4 sections. So, 4 po ang major rights of a child according sa UNCRC. It is the survival right.
Right to live.
Yon yung mga specifications na, right? Pero 4 yung major rights ng child. First, isang survival needs. Second, isang developmental, first, isang survival rights. Second, isang developmental rights. Third, isang participation rights.
Protection.
Last, isang protection.
Protection.
Okay? So, i-relate natin dito. Okay. Pag survival needs. Okay, ano ba yung, anong pagkakaiba ng need at saka problem? Anong pagkakaiba ng need sa problem? Sige daw. Guys,
Hello, sir.
Need,
pagkaka-
need, ang need ay yung kailangan.
kailangan.
Yung problem yung because of some circumstances may dumating na hindi ka nais-nais.
Okay. Sige, tama po sir. Thank you so much, whoever you are. Tama po. So, ang need ay something that you really need. Okay? Kailangan mo siya, pangangailangan mo siya. For example, my need is bigas or food or water. Yun ang aking need. For example, water. Nagiging problem siya pag hindi ko na-meet yung water. Gets ba? Ayan, correct. It is an unmet need pag problem. Okay? Tama po, tama. Sige. Yun. Okay? Yun, sige. Survival needs. Ang ibig sabihin nito, these are the basic needs. Like, needs for nourishment, yung food, shelter, and even, ito kasi, hindi kasi for this presentation. Under kasi dito ang protection. Pero sige lang, let's understand na lang it on how UNCRC drafted its needs of a child. So, yun yung survival needs. Okay? Basic need ng bata. Developmental naman is yung psychological well-being ng bata. Yung right to education ng bata. So, karapatan po ng ating mga magulang na tayo'y pag-aralin. Okay? So, sa mga single dyan, if hindi kayang pag-aralin ng magiging future niyong mga anak, huwag pong mag-asawa. Kawawa ho ang anak ninyo kung hindi niyo mapapag-aral.
Correct.
Okay? Kasi sasabihin, ayaw ko talaga ng notion. Side bit tayo, side bit. Reality tayo. Ayaw ko kasi na personal ko ito, Ayaw kong, kasi ito yung nangyari kasi sa akin when I asked, ito personal experience ko, when I asked some support sa father ko, he always say na, wala akong pera. And then he always wanted to say na, matutong makontento kung ano yung mayroon sa atin. Ako hindi ako ganyan Lalo pag kailangan ko, for school, diba? Never would you let your child think or hear na pagsasabihan yung makontento ka kung ano yung mayroon sa atin. No, lalo na pag kailangan ng anak mo. Example, kanin, diba? Papagulamin mong anak mo ng asin lamang. Diba? Now, hindi mo nagampanan ang function mo as pagiging parent. Kasi part of your family yan Part of your family function. So what would you expect? There will be a disruption in terms of functioning ng family. And then pag disrupted ang family, yun, magiging sira din ang functioning ng ating or mismo or ikaw mismo. Kasi I'm not putting any any tawag nito prejudice against those parang parents na ganun yung gustong values. Iba kasi sa akin yung values sa right ng bata. Tinuturuan mo ang batang maging kontento kung ano yung mayroon. Kung pangangailangan kasi niya yan, how can you be contented? If it's a need, siguro want, yun, pwede pa. Pero pag pangangailangan ng bata, hindi talaga siya. Okay? So I hope personal experience ko yon. That's why I'm not really pro into marrying if you're not really stable enough.
Tama, sir.
Diba? Kawawa. Magiging, hindi lamang ikaw, kasi ang nangyayari, example, ito Filipino family, mahirap talaga tayo, to be honest. Filipino
Yes po.
families are very mahirap. And, umaabot sa puntong wala tayong makain. Right? Pero anak tayo ng anak.
Yes.
Ano ba? I mean, what kind
Dapat
of mindset?
responsible, sir, pagka get to family na.
Yeah, that's part of family planning.
Yes.
Family planning, hindi lang yan tinitingnan natin.
Every
kung
child
ano.
is a responsibility, has a responsibility.
Yeah, correct. And then, hindi dapat alisin natin yung notion na, ay, maraming aanakin ko kasi in the long run, baka isa sa kanila ang maging successful, makakatulong sa, ginawa mong bangko.
That's wrong.
Ginawa mong bangko ang iyong anak.
Yes, sir.
Right? Ayaw ko din talaga ng notion na in the long run, makaka-help yun sa atin. Ginawa mong investment ang anak mo. Well, it's not.
Tama, sir.
It's not correct. Kasi
Agree.
hindi dapat investment ang anak. Ang responsibilidad mo yan.
Responsibility.
Parent.
Kaya dapat, sir, matured parenting meron.
Yeah. Kasi hindi yan choice ng anak mo na
Yes.
na maging part siya ng family mo.
Tsaka hindi rin nila sa responsible obligasyon na pag tumanda kayo ay ba yung cargo ng mga anak, hindi po.
Correct.
Kung tumanaw sila ng utang na loob o gumawa sila ng buti sa magulang, lang yun, sukli. Pero hindi obligasyon ng anak.
Yeah. I hope it's, kasi that's from my experience. Tsaka, for example, if ang anak ko kasi, ang taas ng expectations ng family ko sa akin kasi, I graduated with Latin honors and then I placed pa in a board exam. And then they thought that I would be earning this much when I have my work. And then, hindi kasi siya yung reality. Kasi, to be honest, social work, I know you can relate to this. Ang liit na lang sahod natin. Hindi talaga ito yung tawag nito, pang rich na profession. Yung rich by money. Ba? We can even take out some money for our client para ibigay natin kasi walang pamasahe ang kliyente natin. So, yung mga ganong bagay. And then, ang liit lang talaga ng sahod natin. If you're in the LGU, you're probably earning around 15 to 20,000 per month. And then if nasa national ka, DSWD, siguro yan, mas malaki-laki. You would be starting around 23,000. But that's not really enough. Even for yourself, right? Lalo na pag mayroon kang mga needs din or binabayaran as an adult person, adulting 101. Diba? Yun, ang hirap talaga ng ganung So that's part of understanding Filipino family kasi I know hindi lang ito sa family ko nangyayari. Marami ding, ganito din, I share the same sentiments with also other people. Lalo na yung mga pamilyang laki sa hirap. Ganyan talaga ang mindset. Sige, sana tayo. Developmental, the right of that child to be educated. Karapatan nating pag-aralin ng ating anak. Ba? Kaya kawawa. Kaya kanina sinabi ko, ay baka may maging successful sa 12 kong anak, at least isa may maging successful, kaya nag-12 ako ng anak. Eh paano yung 11? Hindi ba sila mga tao na may pangangailangan din? Kaya kaya as much as possible may mag-break ng poverty cycle. And then, it is also your responsibility to have that. For example, if ikaw, mama at saka papa, nakaranas kayo ng paghihirap during your childhood, learn from it. Huwag ka nang mag-anak ng marami kung di mo kayang pag-aralin. Mag-anak ka lang at least isa or dalawa.
Correct, sir.
Para at least successful yun. At saka, yung magiging anak mo, makaka-learn from you. Right? Kung mag-anak ka ng marami, yun.
Dapat matuto sa karanasan.
Yeah, correct. Hay nako, nami kong kuda. Sige, next tayo is ang participation. So, ang participation rights, eto, present talaga to it doesn't matter na, bata siya. Meaning, hindi siya pwedeng mag-decide. No, in fact, dito sa LGU namin, dito sa Davao City, pag may mga hearings, especially concerning children, may mga child representatives yan during the hearing of an ordinance or passing of the city ordinance. So we let that child participate in the hearing process. That's an example of participation rights ng child. And then lastly is yung protection rights. The right of that child to be protected from sexual abuse, exploitation, or any form of abuse. Okay? Screen not moving for the next slide. Yes, ma'am, kasi dito pa tayo sa needs satisfaction. Okay? So now we move to the cultural variables. I hope it is well understandable, ha? Yung kanina or yung na-grasp mo yung apat na rights. So now we move to the cultural variables in understanding family. So according kay Bergstad, culture daw is a complex whole that consists of all the ways we think and do and everything we have as members of the society. Pag sinabi na, if this is how we define society, then later we mean to that as folkways, mores, folklores, costumes, language, at saka values. Isa-isahin natin. Folkways, organized and repetitive behavior. That's part of our culture. Mano po, opo po, yon. That's folkways. Yan, basic gestures. Repetitive, everyday nagagawa natin yan. So that is considered folkway. That is part of our culture. Mores involves moral or ethical values. Example, these are the things that are taboo. Example, pumatay ka ng tao, nang rape ka. Those are mores kasi may strong ethical value or consideration yan. Pag violate mo yan, iba yung, there's a stigma that the society will throw on you. Folklore, pag sinabi natin folklore, these are the preserved traditional customs, beliefs, dances, and even songs. Okay? Kundiman, that's part of folklore. Diba? Tinikling, folklore, belief, or mga haka-haka, or tradition, that's part of folklore. Costumes, these are the styles at saka prevailing fashions. Filipiniana, Barong Tagalog. Yon. Bahag, that's costumes, that's part of our culture. Language, or the mode of expression, Tagalog, Cebuano, Ilocano, Bicolano. Yon. Ba? And then lastly, isang value, seeing a situation as good or bad. Okay, anong kaibahan ng values sa value? Sige daw. Anong kaibahan ng value sa value?
Value, worth, values is...
Yon. Correct, ma'am. Thank you so much. Pag value, meaning as assigning worth to a specific object or a matter. Right? Example, piso. We value piso because it's a money. Okay? The more we value 500 pesos kasi mas mataas yung kanyang worth. Pero ang values naman is how we see things as bad or good. Ba? Ang tawag nito, ang soplahin ang parent is a bad thing. So that's our values. Ang magdasal ng araw-araw is also good. So meaning that can also be our values. Okay? So these things comprises our culture. Okay? Balikan natin itong kanina. There are two kinds of culture. There are material. Pag sinabi natin material, tangible, nakikita. Okay? Or nahahawakan natin. Such as buildings, work of arts, clothings, paintings, ganon. So it's material, tangible. Keep natin there, tangible. Non-material naman, intangible. Such as knowledge or belief or understanding natin of what should we do. Like, ganon. Values. Diba? Ano yung example natin ng non-material? Example ng culture natin, siguro i-relate natin sa folklore, belief or tradition natin. Diba? Bawal magsuot ng puti in a wedding if you are not the the bride kasi mag-aagaw ka ng pansin sa bride, mga ganon. Magsuot ng itim during funeral. Yun, that's part of our non-material. It's our belief. And then ang material naman natin, like buildings, example, kaya po, church, that's a material, that's culture kasi culture is related again to religion. And then, ano pa ba? Paintings, yun, sculptures, clothing, nakikita na hawakan natin. Okay? Characteristics of a culture. Ang culture daw is acquired. We learn culture. So that's basically acquired. Nakukuha natin or namamana natin ang culture. Adaptive. Ang culture daw ay not to change. Kasi it adapts to certain situations or certain era. Diba? Like before, ang Filipiniana natin ay basic. Ngayon, marami ng forms of Filipiniana. So it's adaptive. Right? Culture gratifies human needs. Kasi ang culture is related to religion, related to values, and then these things help us to become a person we are right now. So therefore, part of it is also gratification of our needs. Ideational, kasi it's about belief and tradition. Idea, knowledge, that's why it is ideational. Shared and transmitted. If it is acquired, then therefore, napapasa siya at saka natatransmit siya. It is social. Why? Because culture is people. And people is social. Then, culture tends towards integration. Nagkakaroon siya ng cooperation. It builds cooperation between person to person. Ine-integrate. Physical variables naman tayo in understanding or affecting family. So first is demography. Demography is basically the size or the density of population inside or inside the certain community, okay, or a family. Like may family na 12, may family na 5, may family na only 3. So yun, that's basically demography. At saka environmental changes also is another part of physical variables like pollution in air, water, at saka land. Then space relationships, denudation of forests, urbanization. So that's also affecting families. Ecology. Ecology naman, it pertains to the interrelationship of an organism and their environment. Ecology meaning the study of environment, relationship of the person to the environment. So also, we have to understand that. If, for example, nagkakaroon ng environmental changes such as pollution, then there might be a disruption in terms of the relationship of the organism to the environment. Then relationships between environment and people. Yeah. Sinabi ko na yan kanina. That the environment provides the resources for life. Tama naman. We eat. Ano yung ulam nyo ngayon? Anong ulam nyo ngayon? Guys.
Hindi pa nakakain, sir.
O di same tayo.
Hindi pa kumakain.
Adobong
Pero
chicken.
yung mga nakakain na, pwede naman kayong kumain while listening. Ako hindi ako pwedeng kumain. Or mag-stop ng ano kasi I'm lecturing. Sige daw, or ngayon, I will hit biscuit. Nagutom tuloy ako. 555 tuna. So tuna isda. Saan galing ang isda? Sa environment. Diba? Tama. Then the environment serves as a water repository. Gulay, sir. So, saan galing ang gulay? With chicken. Oy! Chicken barbecue. Yayamanin. RK. Rich kid. Adobo. Anong adobo po? Sir AJ.
Baboy po.
Yayamanin. Kinain na tulinga. Yayamanin. Chicken adobo, yayamanin. Adobong dragon. Anong lasa ng dragon? Itlog ng manok, sir. In-specify talaga niya. Tama naman, kasi may itlog naman ng pogo. May itlog ng dinosaur.
Guys, nakagutom na.
Okay. Sige, the environment serves as a water repository. So, for example, di na nilagay sa isda. Yung isdang kinakain mo, saan yun nanggaling? Sa lawa, sa dagat. So, our environment, our Mother Earth is a repository of these forms of water. Kung saan tayo kumukuha ng pangangailangan natin. And then the environment houses our species. Diba? Number 1 dyan tayo. We are a species, human species. So our environment houses us. Next. Human stresses the trade-offs inherent in every decision that alters the environment. Example, in the concept of overfishing, will I get this amount of fish na sobra based sa aking pangangailangan. However, I'll be earning a lot more. Example, ang tina-target ko ay 2 balde lamang. Pag nakadalawang balde ako, magkakaroon ako ng abag nito, 500 pesos na earnings. Pero, nung nangisda ako, ang dami palang isda. So instead naging 2, ang ginawa ko, 5 balde. So 5 balde equivalent to 1,250 na isda, na pera. So yun, we human do trade-offs. Mangingisda ba ako ng beyond of what I need? Or hindi? Kung mag-go ako beyond what I need, the thing is, it will be beneficial para sa akin for now. Pero in the long run, wala nang isdang mahuhuli. Or it will affect the environment. Right? And then, kung kukuha naman ako ng isda based on what really I only need, sayang naman yung pera. 'Di ba? Nakikitain ko sa sobrang balde. Makukuha ko ng isda. So, yun yung mga thing. Like, for example, also sa deforestation, diba? Sa mining, diba? Humans do trade-offs. Whether to do this or that. Kasi, in some way or another, it will affect the environment. Okay? Okay, problems arising from politics of ecology. Or, from politics of environment. Or from the environment in itself. So, first is the concept of life as intrinsically good and death as intrinsically bad, such as the birth versus death rates. So, part of understanding this, pag sinabi nating environment at saka ang people, talagang population, right? So, nagkakaroon ng overpopulation. For example, sa Philippines, dami nating population dito. In 2021, in the recent survey, nasa 111 million na tayo. So, part dito, tinitingnan natin the concept of birth at saka death rates. Marami ang nabubuhay or marami ang naanak. Why? There are a lot of factors related to it. Tsaka nagsisiksikan tayo dito sa ating environment. And then, the more we are dense, then the more magsasuffer ang ating environment. Kasi magiging less yung resources niya. So that's another problem, okay, in terms of understanding birth at saka death rates. Death rates naman, ito, ngayon, uso ang death rates kasi COVID-19 pandemic. Marami ang namamatay. Pero ang environment na less yung movement. So medyo ang environment natin ay nakakahinga. Okay? So yun. Another thing to understand in terms of understanding ecology or environment. Underdevelopment, like poor nations lagging behind because of the concept of overpopulation, the things on economic inflation, mga ganung bagay. This leads us to become underdeveloped. Meaning, we are either depending to the higher nation or dependent tayo sa other nation in the sense na hindi tayo mabubuhay kung wala sila. And then, sometimes, related din to sa dependency theory na i-discuss ko in the social change and development perspective na topic. And then sometimes, ini-exploit tayo ng ibang countries. Yung konsepto ng ng surpluses, or even yung basura ng Canada before. Ecology talaga yon. Kasi tinambak ng Canada dito yung basura nila sa Pilipinas. Ang nangyari, pinabalik ni Mayor Rodrigo Duterte ang basura from the Canada. Kasi nga, wala tayong say masyado because we are only poor third world country tayo. So that's another concern in terms of environment. The contraceptive revolution has no effect yet. So again, this is related to population. No effect yet. There are other reasons to it kung bakit hindi nagiging effective yung contraceptive. We have ang contraceptive ay under siya sa tawag nito artificial, okay? Artificial contraceptive at artificial na form ng family planning. Meron tayong natural. Ang contraceptive, for example, paggamit ng condom, ang ng pills, mga IUD, yung mga ganung bagay, wala daw siyang effect based on the research. That's why nagkakaroon ng overpopulation. Then birth control, expensive and involving full adult population. Yeah, tama naman, ba? Medyo mahal. Diba? Like for example, mag-produce, pero may mga ang batas naman natin ngayon, may mga batas naman tayong nagpo-provide for universal healthcare system natin. Ngayon, binibigyan ng mga Pilipino ng easy access to birth controls or contraceptives. Pero yun nga, at the expense of it, bali, pera, diba? Lulubog at lulubog din kasi mahal nga. At saka, it involves whole population. Kailangan mong i-change ang conservative thinking of Filipinos about birth control. Diba? They would always lean to something na conventional or traditional. Hindi yan sila magagamit ng example, there are marami akong naririnig. Okay, naririnig. I'll just use the term naririnig. That they do not want to use condoms kasi parang lesser yung sensation or lesser yung urge or yung libido. Right? Yan, that's another cultural na thinking. That's why hindi sila gumagamit ng condom. And then they prefer without using condom. And then ang tendency is, hindi gumagamit ng natural such as withdrawal, diba? Or calendar method, hindi pa din. Lalaki pa din ang population natin. Ito naman, related to that is to persuade women and men, which is abandoning traditional views is hard. Mahirap daw talaga. Lalo na pag religious, may religion na, diba? Kasi, for example, in Islam, diba? We were being taught that family planning is not really good. Diba? And then, yun. Ang hirap talaga. And then poverty. Poverty, again, is another related to ecology or environment. And then poverty, as we all know, is multifaceted. Pag sinabi natin multifaceted, ang daming factors na tinitingnan. Hindi lamang individual, pwede ding environment, hindi lamang pagkain, kung hindi edukasyon, opportunities, yan ang dami. Next. Okay, ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, population explosion or yung overpopulation, which is emphasis on quantity rather than quality. Right? Parami tayo ng parami, pero yung quality of life, like bumababa talaga kasi nga ang dami nating aalagaan. And the question of economic stability, mako-question. That's why may mga problems on demands and supply. The law on elasticity, kakaroon ng inflation. Then the specter of war, the equally terrifying specter of universal starvation. Kakaroon talaga ng starvation kasi there is a limited resources for a too much na number of population. Then that's why kailangan natin ng family planning. So family planning is a way of regulating and spacing the birth of children by married couples and helping childless couples find out the cause of their inability. So that's family planning. Okay? Sa mga sa mga tawag nito, married na, do you do family planning? If you don't mind me asking.
Yes po.
Yes po, sir.
Ang uban, accidental.
Pagitan ng 5 years sa akin, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Or wala. Medyo. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, can you tell us about how, if it's fine with you, how is your family planning going on? What are your thoughts regarding family planning? Kasi, mas okay siyang manggaling sa iyo kasi wala. Ma'am,
Sino
hello?
po?
Ikaw po.
Pinag-usapan namin na nagsimula kami mag-asawa with yung may plano. Kailan magpapakasal, ilan yung magiging anak, saan titira, dapat may sariling bahay. Pero kasi, planado yung pag-aasawa. Tapos every child, 2 lang po yung anak ko, 5 years ang pagitan. Bago kami gagawa ng bata, dapat prepare yung budget namin. Yung kailangan ng bata, kaya hanggang bago pagsusundan, may budget na ba uli? Yun po yung namin, nag-uusap po with talk. Tapos ngayon po, dahil pares kami nasa bahay, before kasi very busy kami parehas kaya medyo lessen. Pero ngayon dahil nasa bahay kami, nag-ano po ako ng injectable.
That's very good, no?
Mm-mm.
Oh, tayo mga single. Let us all learn from mom. Diba? It's okay to have family planning. At least you're not just helping your family, but also you're helping the bigger society.
Pinag-usapan kasi namin, sir. Ako po, 10 kami magkakapatid. Yung asawa ko, 2 lang sila. Nakita ko yung hirap ng buhay, katulad ng sinasabi niyo before na, alam mo, may pangangailangan ka pero wala ibibigay ang parents mo. Ang isipin ko, bakit mo ako binuhay? Bakit ako naging anak? Di mo kaya i-provide yung pangangailangan ko. Ganun yung thinking ko. Tapos yung asawa ko, small family sila pero mature din yung kanilang yung 2 lang sila, parang very okay din yung family nila. Kaya nung nagsama kami, nag-settle down kami na mag-usap. Kung ilan lang yung magiging anak, paano ihanda. Kaya bago kami magpakasal, may sarili na kaming bahay. Nag-ipon muna kami. Tapos every child may budget.
That's very nice, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that is how we do family planning. Okay? And then also, we add na lang natin dito is helping childless couples find out the cause of their inability. So might as well they will seek doctor's help or professional help for that. So that's again another family planning. Next tayo. Factors to be considered in the study of family planning and population control. Okay. So, first is consequences of fertility on health, child development, family income, housing, at saka interpersonal relationships. Yung sinasabi nating, napaka-fertile ko. Isang tsuktsak lang, yun na. Right? Nagkaanak na. May mga ganyang tao Diba? And then, the more sino po yung fertile, or you're very prone na magkaroon talaga ng anak, ay isang tsuktsakan lang, sila pa yung hindi or incapable of providing the needs talaga ng mga bata. Diba? So, in understanding your fertility, your ability to procreate a child, have in mind or understand ano yung magiging effect nito sa health ko. Ikaw mismo na babae na nagbibear ng child. Sa child development, sa magiging anak ko. Good kay ma'am kasi may pagitang 5 taon for their child. Family income, sapat ba ang income ng family namin? Housing, may sapat ba kami, may kasya ba kami sa isang natirahan namin ngayon? At saka interpersonal relationships. How will be my relationship with my children if that's the case, na marami kami? Then effects on economy, air, and water resources or human services. Pero yung environmental aspect, kasi hindi lang kasi kayo ang apektado nito, if in case marami kayo, at saka little lang yung income or incapable kayo of providing the needs of your children. So ngayon, others as well, or your environment mo will be affected. education, di ba? Ang pangangailangan ng mga bata or ang right ng mga bata to educate. Then, political factors. Ba? Pwede natin i-relate dito yung eto kasi, ang thinking kasi natin, di ba, as social workers, sasaluhin natin yung mga taong may problema. Okay? Lalo pag you're in the government. The government talaga, siya yung papa. Like, yung parents patriae na concept. Like, sasaluhin talaga ng kargo ng gobyerno ang kanyang constituents. So, it's so unfair. Okay? Why? Kasi, may mga iba na nag-aanak sila pero napoprovide naman nila. Pero yung iba nag-aanak lamang, hindi nila maprovide, iaasa nila sa gobyerno. That's wrong. That's very wrong. Sa amin, sa agency namin, everyday, halos everyday, may nanghihingi ng ayuda. May bigas kayo dyan, ma'am, sir, mga ganun. Everyday na lang. So that's another political aspect. Huwag natin iasa sa ibang tao ang responsibilidad natin bilang magulang sa mga anak natin. Walang may utos kung ilan ang aanakin mo, kundi kayo lamang. It's your decision. Therefore, panindigan nyo. Huwag nyo iasa sa... Pwede naman, the government is really there, pero huwag talagang hayaan mo sa ibang tao or ang gobyerno na mag-take good care ng mga anak. That's why yung iba pinapasok sa mga centers kasi hindi nila kayang gustusan ang kanilang mga anak. So, it's another concern natin dito sa Philippines. Then, the concept also of immigration at saka immigration. So, ano ibig sabihin ng dalawa? Sige daw. Pag sinabi natin immigration, yung E, yung elephant, meaning these are the number of people that is going out. Example, dito sa Davao City. Ilan yung lumalabas sa Davao City? Sige, sa isang buwan, yung nag-go out sa Davao City, like settling for goods sa other places, nasa 1,800. Ayan. So that's the number of immigration. Ang immigration naman na it is yung number of people that is going or coming in Davao City. Like for example, from Kidapawan, nag-settle sila dito sa Davao City. So yun yung number ng mga tao. So, bakit siya related? Kasi nga, that's a movement of people. And then if ang movement, that movement is really related to population. Pwedeng marami, may mga konting nag-immigrate, pero yung immigrate na mas marami. So meaning, very dense pa din yung population. Diba? So yun. Dapat you have to understand that. Then the impact of fertility on society and people. Yun, yung ability mo na to procreate a child. And then need for new values at saka behaviors. That's really, kasi nga we are introducing family planning and control. We are changing the notion. And then ang role ng social worker, of course, is very important there. Ang social workers, we do conduct pre-marriage counseling. Yung mga even NPES or AirPath, we do conduct that. Training, life skills training na pwede natin i-incorporate ang family planning is really related to family counseling or orientation. Doon talaga siya napapag-usapan. Right? Like, yon. So, be a social worker. Ito din yung ang hirap din ito when we do on ground. You are a single social worker. And then magkakaroon ka magkakandak ka ng pre-marriage counseling. And how would you conduct a pre-marriage counseling if you yourself is a single? Hindi ka masyadong makarelate. Yun. That's another challenge when you go on ground. So, yun. Next is economic inflation. So, economic inflation, another thing that is related to population, it involves high cost of living. Diba? Hindi na nakakapag-meet ang income ng isang family ay medyo mababa na sa mga bilihin. Diba? So that's high. Kasi nagkakaroon ng high cost of living. Dito sa Davao City, medyo mataas ang cost of living. Like, mataas na ang cost of living dito. Then poor management techniques, management inside the family, Like, for example, your income, then high cost of labor, diba? Kasi high cost of labor, pero ang trabaho naman ay pamatay. Then lack of local materials inside the community. Resultant reduction of equality, nagkakaroon ng inequality because ang dami ng nag-aagawan, for example, sa isang posisyon, isang job, kasi wala silang mapuntahan na job. So dito related din ang konsepto ng unemployment at saka underemployment. Pag sinabi nating unemployment, hindi talaga sila employed. Underemployment, there's a mismatch of employment. Ako, I'm a social worker, pero ang work ko ay isang call center agent. Yun, so that is an underemployment. Then lack of long-range economic planning. If in case locally, wala masyadong economic plan or strong na economic plan. International relations at politics ay medyo hindi siya maganda. And then other social problems. So that all leads to economic inflation, which some way or another relate to or affect the family. Socio-economic aspect, okay? Pag sinabi natin socio-economic aspect, ito yung tinitingnan natin. First is ang standard of living. Pag sinabi natin standard of living, these are all those things which one insists on having. I wanted to have that. I wanted to be this. I wanted to be like that. We set our standard of living to a specific matter. And then mode of living, how do we set a certain standard? For example, I wanted to for example, ang standard of living ko, I wanted to at least once a week mag-samgyup or gumala, for example, yun yung standard of living ko. And then yung mode of living ko, yung actual behavior and accomplishment ko. Whether or not I am earning enough to meet those standard of living that I set myself. If hindi, might as well babaan mo yung standard of living mo. Live within your means. Then division of labor, responsibility of each member of the family. So si Papa, for example, si Papa yung nagpo-provide ng mga needs, si Mama naman yung nagtitake good care. Then yung si anak is ang kanyang role ay mag-aral ng mabuti or maigi. Then occupation, whatever an adult spends most of his time doing. For example, I am a part of a family and then ang role ko, ang occupation ko is I registered social worker or social work associate. And then social status or recognized position or me being a social worker. And then last is ang social certification, which is a sum up of the general estimates of social status. For example, ang family ko. Ang family ko live below or, not below, middle class. Parang ganon. Like, yes, swak lang or sapat lang, sakto lamang ang aming earnings sa aming pangangailangan. Parang ganon. So that's social, we are on the middle class or pwedeng lower class. Okay, dito tayo sa konsepto ng love, courtship, at saka marriage. Before we do family, dadaan muna tayo pa ng parang process. Ha? Like we do love, courtship, and then eventually marriage. So what is romantic love? Romantic love, it is feelings of erotic attraction accompanied by an idealization of the other. So erotic attraction, this involves sexual urges or attraction to the person, may it be physical, sexual, whatsoever. So what is your own definition of romantic love? Do you believe in love at first sight? Do you believe that all started from a physical attraction and then everything follows? Sige daw. Or etong sa mga tawag ito, sa mga taken right now. Not necessarily married, pero pwede namang magjowa pa lang ngayon. So, bakit mo nagustuhan ang partner mo? Sige daw. Sige daw, please. Sino gusto mag-share? Love is like development. Ay, anong ibig sabihin yan, ma'am? Sige daw, ma'am. The mic is, the virtual floor is yours.
Ay, sa akin po ba? Good evening po. So, hello po.
Yes, ma'am.
So para po kasi sa akin, ang romantic love is a development. Kasi pag ang isang tawag doon, ang isang relationship is hindi na-develop, hindi siya matatawag na romantic love. So nade-develop siya. Either is your behavior, attitude, or even your tawag doon, yung ones nyo, yung parang compatible kayo sa isa't isa. Yung give and take, para masabi nyo na romantic love yung isang relationship.
Okay.
So it's a development po for me. I don't
Thank you,
think
ma'am.
silang po kung tama sa iba.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Tama naman. Tama po. By the way, you're married, ma'am, or single? Ano ba yung natin? Civil status
Ako
natin.
po.
Ha? Oh, yes po.
Single po.
Single. Have you been in love before?
Yes po.
Or nagkaroon ka, may mga exes ka na?
Pa?
May mga exes ka na?
Yes po.
Okay. Sige. Think of your ex, for example. Why did you like him at first? Or why did you like him? Parang ganun.
For me kasi para po sa akin is yung ano lang po, yung behavior po tsaka attitude. Yung po kasi mahalaga sa akin. Hindi naman po ko tumiting sa appearance. Yun po. So talaga na-develop po talaga siya. So kung nag-start po ang relationship is friendship. Para po kasi sa akin friendship muna, tsaka kayo madidevelop. So yun yung tinatawag na romantic love po.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. No. According kay ma'am, starts with friendship before you develop. And then, love daw sa kanya is a development. How about the others? Gusto ko yung taken. Sige daw. Sinong taken dito?
Ako.
Sige, go sir. Yon, lalaki gusto ko. Sige, go sir. Kasi may perspective na tayo sa babae. Lalaki naman. Sige, go sir.
Ano lang sir ka ng siyempre nagligaw mo kasi Tagalog.
Ayaw, Bisaya sir. Pag Tagalog ka sir.
Tagalog, please.
Yun nga sir, lumigaw po ako sa kanya pero sinagot niya agad ako kasi ang gusto niya hindi niya gusto patagalin. Doon niya lang malalaman kung okay ba yung attitude ko. Kung hindi, iiwanan niya din ako. Pero yun nga, nagtagal din kami. 4 years din kami.
Sana all. Pero sir, I'll ask you. Sana all. Malaking sana.
Bigay mo man ang tikuan. Sinawa ang bigay, mga kabitoy.
Sige sir. Ano ba yung What made you like? Hello? What made you like him?
Ay, ibang ka dito eh.
Di ko ma-off si Ma'am Nora. Hello, Ma'am Nora. Ma'am Nora.
Hello.
Sige daw, sir.
May mga part po kasi sir na medyo compatible kami sa isa't isa, ganun. At saka meron kaming meron kaming dalawang tawag nito. Yung equal attitude kumbaga.
Sige. Ito ang tanong ko, sir. Do you feel an erotic attraction to the girl?
Opo.
Ano? Yun. Sige, sir. Salamat po.
Sige, sir.
So, bali, romantic love, it's really somehow subjective. Depende talaga yan sa tao. Pero, define kasi here that romantic love happens when there is an erotic attraction. So, parang sexual in nature. Pero ako talaga, what I see with the romantic love is, it goes beyond being erotic, right? Or being sexual in nature. Kasi hindi kasi ako ganyan din eh. Like, I erotic Iba talaga to si Alvin. Yun. So, at first, tama yung sabi ni ma'am, like, you have to get to know the person, like, be friend with him or her first. And then, yun. Romantic love comes na after siguro nyo kasi hindi kasi ako yung sensual na tao. I don't know with the others ha. This is for my own opinion. Na when I look at a person, parang like lost talaga yung makikita ko. No, parang hindi ganun. Like lost for me or romantic love happens when I get to know more the person, when I understood the person well, yung kanyang mga flaws, I understand them all, yung mga ganong bagay. So that's when after that, romantic love comes. Na nagkakaroon ako ng erotic attraction. Okay? Sige. Next, courtship. Panliligaw. Okay? So panliligaw, nag-agree si Ma'am Chelsea. So panliligaw daw, it is a social process engaged in by two individuals. A progressive commitment leading to a succession of events towards the development of a stable interpersonal relationship. Okay? Ito, sige. Let's ask ano na lang, parang lalaki. Iba naman from Sir kanina nag-share. How do you court your partner right now? Yung mga taken na. Sige daw. How do you court your partner right now? Paano mo siya kinort last time? O niligawan? Kasi according dito courtship daw is a social process between two individuals or couple. Ano mo kinort? Nag-court ka ba before? Sige daw. Magtatawag ako. Okay lang. Magtatawag ako. Okay lang ba magtawag ako? Okay lang? Guys, hello.
Go.
Opo.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Jeremiah. Baka matawag ko single. Uy, sana walang ma-offend ha. This is just for discussion purposes. Go sir, total walang sumasagot. Parang feel ko kung walang sumasagot lahat single. Okay, Sir Jeremiah Torres. Hello, sir. Baka nahiya lang ang iba po. It's okay naman. Wala naman sigurong like how do you, like, just basic lang. Like how do you court your loved one right now or your special someone? Natakot si sir. Sir Jeremiah. Hello, sir. Sir, the virtual floor is yours. Hindi na. Sir. Wala na.
Ibang klase yung courtship before sa ngayon, sir.
Sige daw, ma'am. Ikaw daw, ma'am. Like before.
Ako kasi conservative, sir eh. Opo. Ang ipapakilala ko sa parents ko, dapat yun ay mapapangasawa ko.
Ay, iba.
Kaya yung mga hindi ko sigurado na siya yung mapapangasawa ko, hindi ko sila pinakilala sa parents ko. Hanggang doon lang sila sa kanto. Pero, kaya yung asawa ko, siya lang yung pinakilala ko sa asawa ko. Tapos, ang nanay ko kasi
Nakakaingit ka talaga, ma'am.
Yung nanay ko kasi nabigo ko siya sa 4 na panganay. Kaya ayokong biguin ng nanay ko. Gusto ko i-bless ako ng Lord sa marriage life namin. Kaya bago ko siya sinagot, kailangan may permit ng tatay ko at saka ng nanay ko. Kaya yung love letter ng asawa ko, nababasa ng mga kapatid ko. Tapos nung sasagutin ko na siya.
If you don't mind me asking, ma'am, ilang taon ka na ngayon?
41 po. Happy family. Blessed and happy family po. Kasi naniwala po ako sa sa belief na if you honor your parents and your parents. Naniwala po ako sa belief na once na you honor your parents, the Lord will bless you.
Correct.
Kaya naranasan ko po yun. Yung pag-honor.
Thank you,
Ngayon,
ma'am.
text lang. Nagkabanggaan lang. May, nagkatitigal lang. May ano na.
Aray naman ng mga internet love, ma'am.
Sorry naman. Sorry naman. Kaya iba po yung iba po yung pananaw ko sa courtship kasi. Kaya yung asawa ko, dumaan siya sa mahabang proseso. Sa matagal na proseso. Kasi sabi ko sa kanya, kung gusto mo ako mapangasawa, hindi mo ko pakakasalan ng nagalaw mo lang ako. Nabuntis lang ako. Kasi ewan na, yun lang sorry. Iba-iba kasi tayo ng pananaw di ba? Pero I just want to share.
Correct. Thank you so much, ma'am. So yun, no, sabi ni ma'am, gusto niya may lalaki naman. Pero sabi ni ma'am, it is a process, di ba? Parang, medyo, if I understand it, talagang sinuyo talaga si ma'am ng kanyang partner right now. Di ba? So yun, it is a process. It is a development. Courtship is a process and a development. Hindi siya talagang it happens right from outright. Like for example, ngayon nagkakakilala kayo pagka tomorrow, yun na, kayo na talaga. Hopefully, may mga ganun nangyayari, pero sometimes nagpa-flunk yung relationship or nag-fail. Kasi may process tayo later i-discuss. And then the more kasi na longer yung courtship process, the more na mag-stay stronger ang relationship. Kasi it's about commitment diba? If you're not really committed to the person, parang ano.
Tama, sir, sa commitment. And as a responsibility na.
If you're not really ready for commitment, then don't engage into a relationship. And then, for example, if one-sided lamang, siya lamang yung may gusto, ikaw wala, or ikaw lamang yung may gusto, siya wala. Wag niya ipagpatuloy kasi nga, dalawa yan courtship and then love. It involves two people.
Tama, sir.
Hindi pwedeng isa lang. Isang linggong pag-ibig ba? Yes, ma'am.
Baka masawi po, sir.
Yes. Sige, sa lalaki
Masakit
daw.
yun.
Masakit talaga, ma'am. Sa lalaki daw, sige daw. Ay, Dwight. Naman di ka dira, Dwight. Sige, go, Dwight. Dwight. This is my friend. Go, Dwight.
Sir? Yes, sir?
Yes, Dwight. Wala na. Dapat mag-share ka. Dwight is my friend. Actually, college classmate ka siya.
For me, courtship is it's just para siyang role ng isang tao na kailangan mong gampanan. Like for example, if ang lalaki is at first is mabait siya, like marami siyang nasabi about good things about the girl na gusto niya, then pag sinagot na niya, then weeks or months later nag-iba na, it's just hindi niya nagampanan ng boy ang role niya because kasi sa una lang siya magaling. Do you get my point?
Sugon ba?
Yeah.
Una lang magaling. Una lang committed.
Like not for bragging, pero I try to be consistent with my partner right now. Like
I can see sana all ka nga, Dwight.
Like kung how I treat her when I was courting her before, ganyan
Dwight. Follow up ko, Dwight. Follow up ko. Ilang months mo siya or how did you court your current girlfriend right now and then mga ilang months bago ka niya sinagot? So that's a hot seat question.
Okay, sige. Some of you ay hindi man ako kilala pero okay, I will share. I think I've known her 1 month before I contact her via Messenger, siguro November 2020. Ganyan. I think. November 2020.
November 2020.
No, sorry. November 2019.
Okay,
That's
2019.
the time I add her on Facebook, and then hihintay ko muna ng 1 month to gain courage para para mag-chat sa kanya ng hi, hello. To be more specifically, nag-chat ako sa kanya December 26, after Christmas talaga. Then sabi ko sa kanya, hi, Merry Christmas, ganyan. And then, doon na. Then, I think what's funny about it, kasi walang official date na
But ilang months yun, Dwight?
Ha?
Ilang months?
Next
Before
month na.
As 1
January
month.
ako sinagot. Oo.
Hi!
Pero the funny part about it is walang official date or specific date na naging kami. Kumbaga, we decided na, ito yung date na gusto natin para sa monthsary natin.
Pwede pala yun, Dwight? Walang specific date?
I don't know, because mutual understanding, like she agree and then I agree, and then it's...
When was the time that you agreed with each other? Kasi that's part of relation. I don't know, Dwight, pero that's para siyang milestone kasi siya ng relationship nyo. The moment you knew that you're really together or you're in together.
Mm-hmm.
Pero wala talagang iba talaga sila, Dwight.
I think the official date is on January 7. Like like days lang ako sinagot ata. Ganyan.
Sige, Dwight. Thank you so much, Dwight, for sharing. And kay Ma'am kanina. So yun, no? So, a courtship is really a social process. It involves two people. Now, a marriage naman. So, pag sinabi natin marriage, after the courtship, magkakaroon ng marriage. Go, sir, try mo. Ayaw ko na. Nakaka-tired. Right now, I'm not yet ready for... takot kasi ako sa commitment. So, medyo, yung past ko, that's enough now already. I don't want na... Yeah, the concept of love is really very... Tawag nito? Napakasarap. Napakasarap ng feeling ng love. But, love comes a commitment. And then commitment comes to responsibility or begets responsibility. And then I'm not yet ready for that. I don't want naman to burden the person that I am going to be with. That's why, or be selfish. That's why better na wag na lang. Like, focus muna ako kung ano yung feel ko committed ako, which is my studies. Kaya yun. Actually, yung recent ko, I'm just gonna share this one. Yung recent ko, bali, naging kami few months, pero later on, kasi sobrang busy ko eh. Ang dami kong ganap sa buhay. Ang dami kong ganap sa buhay. I had very many errands to do. Like, nagle-lecture ako from place to place. Like, I go to Cotabato, to Dapawan, Coronadal, and then online lectures. Ang dami kong ganap talaga. And then, full-time pa ako ng government employee, and then nag-take pa ako ng master's ko. So, sabi ko, I cannot really reciprocate the love that you have been showing to me. Or in short, like, I'm not really, kapag alam mong tunay, tunay naman talaga yun, sa case ko. Pero, yun lang talaga, it's so selfish for me kasi hindi ako makapag-reply right away sa kaniyang mga chats. So, yun, sabi ko, not to be selfish, I still love you, but I will love you more if in case I will let you go kasi ayoko namang maging burden. Even updates, sir. nakakapag-update ako ng late na masyado, like in the evening, parang ganun. And then, I had to spend my evening to the person. Parang ganun, like, sometimes, parang yun, nawawala talaga. Like, I'm not really ready for commitment. And then sabi ko sa kanya, next year, I'm planning to take up law. So, I cannot really, hindi na ako, wala na akong time talaga for this thing. Pero sabi ko sa kanya, ito sabi ko sa kanya. But, I really like you, and then after I finish my studies, then babalikan kita, sabi ko. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya. And then if ever, minsan sir, ayos na yun sa isang tao kahit update lang. Yun yung sinasabi niya. Okay, it's fine with me. Okay lang daw sa kanya. Pero sabi ko, no, I cannot really do it. And then seldom lang din kami magkita. Though siya, parang few kilometers away lang. Yeah. Yeah. So yun, basically that's it. Like, I'm not really committed to it. I'm not really yet ready for commitment. Yeah. Feeling ko talaga unfair sa side niya kasi di ako makapag-reply. Like, I feel like I'm a ship in a relationship. Naging burden na tuloy ako sa kanila. Kasi siya, wala siyang hanas masyado sa life. Wala siyang ginagawa sa life. So, yes, all the time. And it is he po, hindi ho she. Sige pa, okay. Kasi Dwight, alam na ni Dwight kasi hindi ako nakashare kay Dwight. So Dwight, you know na. Sige. Okay. Marriage, okay. It is a special contract of permanent union. So after you go to courtship process, then ang ending talaga niyan ay marriage. So marriage, permanent contract na talaga yan. Between a man and a woman entered into an accordance with the law for the establishment of conjugal and family life. Okay? May special contract na talaga yan. And that the Family Code of the Philippines stipulates the rules and regulations pertaining to marriage and family. Okay? Please check that batas or that law. And tawag nito, sa Philippines, wala tayong divorce. We only have legal separation at saka annulment. Why? Kasi ang divorce, sa simpleng mga bagay, pwedeng maghiwalay kayo agad. Okay? Sa annulment kasi, the right person will come in the right time at the right place. Parang kanta. Okay. Sige. So, yun. Walang annulment, walang divorce. Kasi yun, divorce, para siyang, hindi kasi na, it is against the culture of the Philippines or the religious teachings of the Filipinos. Kasi ang annulment, pwede pa siyang, may chance pa na pwede pang amend ang family. Pero pag divorce kasi, like, almost all of the grounds, pwede siyang mag-divorce. So yun, maaaring masira ang pamilya. Okay, next. So that is marriage, ha? May special contract, may marriage certificate na in-issue ang ating mga LGUs for that. Ito yung courtship process. So ang courtship process starts with dating, then going steady, and then private understanding, and then lastly is ang engagement. So sa dating, usually this happens when initial meeting, okay? Kakaroon kayo ng saan kayo nagkakakilala? Like, nagkakilala kami sa acquaintance, like from friends of friends, like sa bar, or sa school, or sa church. Yun. That's basically what started all sa dating. Okay? It's your first initial meeting with each other. And then you move to going steady. Sa going steady, this is the time where you're being curious to the person, and then dating app, yun, dyan pa na stage sa dating, like looking for a person to be with or a partner, yun. Then sa going steady, medyo nagkakaroon ng mga deeper conversations. Then, you try to answer, what can I do to make this person like me? You're more on self-centered. You are presenting yourself, I have this, I have that. Hindi ka masyado munang nilalabas yung mga bako mo. That is going steady. Like, medyo you are being selfish, and then you try to be curious to the person you wanted to be with, and then know kung ano yung kanyang mga assets. Yun. And then, sa private understanding, this is the time when there's an enlightenment and becoming a couple. So, pwede dito mag-start na ang formally na mag-start kayo ng tawag nito na pagiging in together or magnobyo at nobya. And then you try to answer where are we headed? Saan kayo papunta? And then dito, kung kanina, medyo malalim na, dito na, medyo malalim pa na mga conversation. So, dito, tinitingnan na natin yung mga different flaws ng partner natin. Diyan yan sa private understanding. And then sa engagement, dito na yung pinaka-last, yung commitment or engagement. Pwedeng may mga iba na, it varies din kasi may mga iba na nandun pa lang sila sa stage ng private understanding, they see to it na they think na, okay, we'll have this official, pero yung mga iba naman, na dumadaan, doon talaga sila sa pinaka-last, sa engagement, yung formal na talaga, before they move into another step like marrying. So, yun. Okay? Understood? So, mga dating app, dating yon. Sa case ni Dwight, 1 month lang, kasi may mga specific months yan eh. Itong going steady, this would run around 3 to 4 months, pati private understanding. So, basically, magkakajowa ka ng around 1 year pa if you follow this courtship process. Okay? So, yung kay Dwight, parang nandun pa lang siya sa point ng dating. Pero wala namang problema yan kasi may iba naman talaga na they wanted na assurance before engaging with the person. So, assurance na yun, sila na talaga. And then, dun pa lang sila mag-explore more ng kanilang mga characteristics or attitudes or behavior after they are really in together na. So, hindi po ba delikado ang dating app? Depende yan. Kung tanga ka, delikado. May iba kasing medyo may pagkatanga pag gumagamit ng dating app. Be wise in using the dating app. Pwede naman iwan pag na-realize na hindi mo bet ang ugali ng partner. Pangit naman yung pwedeng iwan. Wag naman right! Mag-iwan outright ha. You have to talk with each other. Hindi pwedeng, wag mang ghost. Wag mang ghost. That's a no-no. Hindi ako updated. Feelings po ang dinidil natin dito. Feelings ng, for example, ng parents at mother. So dapat, i-deal din natin humanely. Okay? Hindi pwedeng iwan ng outright Dwight. Wag mang ghost. Sige. Next tayo, ito. Factors to family conflicts. So, personality adjustments, nagkakaroon ng lalo pag may mga anak. Diba? Or yung, for example, yung kanyang partner, diba? They are into, for example, family na to. So, basically, married na sila. So, ano ka ba? Late ka na umuwi. Doon ka naman, nagsha-shot ka na naman doon or naglalasing ka na naman. So, yung mga personality adjustment, doon mo pa, may mga bagay na doon pa natin nakikita the moment na we marry the person. So, yun, may mga personality adjustment. At saka domestic grievances. Like, sa example, sa money, yun, who holds the money. Pero sa, anong saying nyo sa equal? Or yung, income mo to, income ko to, and then, if ever may needs ang family natin, then, doon lang tayo mag-meet halfway. Pero, hindi, like, yun yung say ko eh. Pag may income ka, income mo yan, income ko, income ko. Pag may pangangailangan ng pamilya natin, provide natin. Ayaw ko yung, hawak ng asawa ko yung income ko, or yung ATM ko. I don't like that person. I don't like that kind of, setup. Kasi money ko to eh. I've earned this. Parang ganon. Okay? So that can be part of domestic grievances. Saka ang dami pa, hindi lamang financial, but also other factors. Like, very sadist masyado ang asawa mo, mapanakit, physically, pero ayaw ko to, isa ayaw ko rin yung verbally. Lalo yung mga lalaking, ang bibigay parang babae. Yun. Ako, that's a red flag. No. Then, temperamental traits, yung may mga attitude problems, yun na yun. Then, frustration, yung sabi ng lalaki na, huwag kang mag-alala, papakasalan kita, and then after natin magpakasal, I will be loyal to you. And then, ending infidelity pala. Nagkaroon ng infidelity pala yung lalaki. Diba? Salawahan. Then, emotional immaturity, immature masyado. Like, for example, related din dito yung parent fixation, simpleng away lang ng mag-asawa, ng lalaki at babae, hindi lalaki, pumunta na sa parent side niya, and then asking for, comfort, mga ganun, yung parang very immature masyado, na pag-usapan natin to. Since we are matured enough to talk about this, and then we are married with each other. Then recreation, diba? Yun, yung all the time nagba-basketball, nagsusugal, diba? Yung sinusugal, hindi na binibigay, hindi na nagsusustento sa kanyang pamilya kasi doon na nalulung na sa sugal. Then authority and responsibility. Medyo may inconsistency when it comes to authority at saka responsibility. Hindi na masyado na napoportray ang kanilang role. Eto din, relatives at saka in-laws, ba? Pwede din siyang maging factor ng magkaroon ng family conflict kasi yung mga biyanan natin, hindi natin maintindihan ang anong attitude, ano ang thinking. Pinapakisamahan na natin, ang hirap pa rin, di pa rin sila sinusugal pa sa 4Ps yung pera. Ako, nakakatakot yan, Sir Maynard. Kasi that can be grounds para i-terminate ang 4Ps beneficiary. Yon. Ang relatives and in-laws, may mga biyanan ba kayong mahirap pakisamahan? Sa mga married dito. Sa mga ganun talaga, no? Yon. That can relate to family conflict. Next naman, trifles. Sa trifles naman, extreme physical at saka mental fatigue, sa sobrang kakaalaga ng pamilya, yung mother, nagkakaroon ng fatigue, unsatisfactory sex relations, pagod yung mama, yung papa gusto, and then ayaw ng mama, kakaroon ng ganun. Close ko, biyanan ko. Ay, very good to you, ma'am. Then, ito, yung mga unsatisfactory sex relations. Kasi may mga ibang religion that says, you must submit to your husband. Kung ang husband mo ay kailangan niya ng physical or ng sexual needs, kailangan i-commit mo yung sarili mo doon. I-submit mo yung sarili mo. Ayaw ko ng ganong Or, kung nag-sex man kayo, medyo hindi satisfied, that's when naghahanap ng iba, nagkakaroon ng family conflict. Then, emotional or intellectual maladjustment, related na kanina. Handling money, yung kaya sa domestic grievances, right? Mas malaki yung utang ng pamilya kaysa sa income na pumapasok sa kanila. But, hirap nun. Immorality, engage into crime ng kanilang, for example, ang father, ang mother. That's immorality. Jealousy, selos. Naku, number 1 to. Jealous. That's when nagkakaroon ng infidelity. Ang problema kasi, hinahanap sa iba ang kakulangan sa partner natin ngayon or sa current partner natin. Right? Or kung may hindi man tayo gusto, yun. Binabaling na. Instead of talking to the person or communicating to the person, ang ginagawa ay parang sinasubstitute na niya ang kanyang supposedly partner dapat niya sa isang something na even though na nakilala lang niya. At saka ito din, another reality, especially if pamilya sila ng medyo hikahos, okay? Yung mga babae nagiging martir, desperada, kahit pa ulit-ulit silang sinasaktan, di pa rin sila bumibigay. Gusto pa nila magstay kasi for their child's welfare. So, hirap na, no? Marami tayong mga cases na ganyan as social workers in field. And then sexual relations related na kanila. Next. Roles of husband and wife in marital adjustments. So, ito yung mga unata. Sige lang, Elvin. Pag una lang, kaya ako, medyo ko kakaunan eh. We will end at 10 p.m. ha. And then if ever hindi natin matapos, then tomorrow we will proceed. We will continue. Okay, roles of husband and wife. Okay, you may eat na ha. You may eat na while listening. Pwede naman. Kasi baka, ako, don't mind me. Okay, roles of husband and wife in marital adjustment. So understanding of each other's personality and behavior. Yeah? Hindi pwedeng sa simpleng away lang, yun na, like, you give up na. No. You're committed to the person. Nagkaroon kayo ng marriage contract. Diba? In the eyes of God and the law, you are in together. You are couple. So therefore, you have to understand each other's personality and behavior. Pero if in case hindi na talaga kaya, in the point na naaabuso ka na, or yung welfare mo as a woman or as a husband, wag na. Better separate. File for an annulment. Then recognition of individual private world. Sometimes, yung mga kailangan natin mga personal spaces, or yun, bigyan natin doon kasi baka medyo gusto niya mag-nilay-nilay reflection or magkaroon ng proper thoughts. Let them be. Then communication. There must be an open communication. Imagine ang family walang communication. It would affect really the relationship of them. Then obligation of fidelity. Obligasyon mong maging loyal sa partner mo. That's part of signing the marriage contract. Okay, the family and the human sexuality. Pag sinabi natin human sexuality, to be human is to be sexual. And to be sexual is to be human. Basically, human sexuality about understanding yourself. Okay? The way who you are right now is an expression of your identity and expression. It's an expression of your identity. That's basically human sexuality. And sex education is the process of teaching an individual to understand and accept himself or herself as a whole person and as such to relate himself or herself to other people in a healthy, constructive, and meaningful manner. Sex education is like teaching the person or teaching a child how to do or how to understand human sexuality. How to understand his or her gender identity and expression. That's sex education. And then i-relate mo din also with the other people. Then family relationships and parenthood that involves child rearing, pagpapalaki ng anak. Ano yung mga konsiderasyon natin in rearing our child? So first, it should be individualized. Ano ibig sabihin ng individualized? For example, may twins tayo. The way we look at our twins, parehas na. That's a no-no. Okay? Dapat, we should treat them individually. Kasi may mga different phases of development yan sila. Kasi, again, another important aspect din to learn in human behavior is the child development. Okay? Depende kung saang punto or saang phase na ang child mo in terms sa kanyang development, doon mo i-address ang concern. Okay? So it should be individualized. Hindi pare-pareha ang approach mo sa mga anak. Yeah, baka sabihin mong may magkaingitan. No, hindi naman. As long as ang punto mo ng individualization is not for favoritism, but for your child's development, then go. Then dynamic relationship between the parent and the child. Dynamic means healthy, open, changing. At saka, since child having bundle of potentialities na pwede nating i-develop. Example, good in math, okay, hasain mo. Or good in science, hasain mo dyan na field, sports, okay. I-enroll mo sa different sections. Yung mga ganon. So that's part of child rearing. Next. Children's needs. So ito yung mga needs ng children daw. Need to self-respect, need for communication, need to belong into a family, need for independence. Turuan natin yan, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Kasali yan sa need for independence. The need for love and affection. Ito, yung iba, do you know the concept of Karen Horney? Basic evil, basic anxiety, at saka basic hostility. Do you know that concept? Sige daw. Who can explain? The need for recognition, need for self-discipline, at saka need to face reality or confrontation. Sige daw, these are the needs of the child. Sige daw, how do you explain that? yung different needs of a child according kay Karen Horneye. Sige daw, please. Who can explain? Medyo namamaos na ako. Who can explain? Guys. Madadiscuss nyo yan sa inyong human behavior na subject. So basically, kung hindi ang parents nagpro-provide ng needs ng kanyang mga anak o ng anak, ito yung kanyang mga need. Bali, for example, need for love and affection. Instead, the parent is showing love and affection, pinapagalitan ang anak. So, the point na pinapagalitan niya ang kanyang anak without any valid reason, ang tendency niyan ay, or ang act in itself is basic evil. And then that act, hindi pwedeng hindi pwedeng pumatol back ang child. Kasi wala siyang authority eh. So, naho-hostile ang child. Kasi nasusuppress ang kanyang guilt or ang kanyang anger towards the parent niya. So yun, yung suppressed feelings towards the parent creates child hostility, creates basic hostility for the child. And then if hindi yan siya nare-resolve in the long run, ang child ay magkakaroon ng basic anxiety, which is a neurotic child na. So yun. Magandang mag-usapan din itong theories of personality. Okay, yun. Then forces outside the home, which help outside the family, which help also mold the personality of the child. Ang school, titingnan natin kung marami ba ang mga ang anak ba natin ay performing or underperforming, nabubuli o hindi, interactive or not. Yon. That's part kasi ang school is also molding the personality of the child. Anong tinuturo sa bata? Religious trainings, yung sa church, community standards, or yung basically sa community around the person or the child, at saka ang kanyang mga friends, at saka contemporaries or acquaintances. Parang it requires adjustments. Kanina na-discuss na natin, there are different adjustments. Parental role, which is additional roles. Kung ikaw, nagkaanak kayo, aside from being a husband and wife, magiging father and mother na kayo. So that's another additional role. A shift in roles will come through na after that. And then emotional adjustments in parenthood, lalo pag may anak na kayo. The best time for having children, you do also family planning. Yung sinabi yung share ni Ma'am kanina. That's a very good example in how they manage to have family planning. And then safety first in parenthood, like appropriate age, when at saka the birth spacing at saka when to have the child. Okay, we have the family life cycle. First is we leave home. Okay. Usually we are at like 18 years old and above, like age of majority. We leave home, we look for work, yon. And then we do marry. Nakakakita tayo ng ng partner natin, then yeah, we do marry the person we love. And then after that, nagkakaroon tayo ng anak. So yung anak natin, young children. And then lumaki yung anak natin, nagiging adolescents. And then pag naging adolescent na, after that, sila na naman yung mag-leave home. Okay? And then families in later life, or tayo, or for example, ako yung partner ko, may apo na ako. So dito na yan sa later life. Okay? So that's basically how family life cycle works. Okay, we're done with family. Now we move to group organization at saka community processes. Any questions for the family? Tanong for the family?
Wala po.
Wala. Matutulog na kayo? Are going to sleep?
Kaya pa.
Wala po.
Kaya pa. Kasi the board exam is coming. Okay? Next, group organization. Ito, maliit lang naman tong PowerPoint ay yung slides dito for the last topics. Group organization tsaka community processes. Ito, bakit some of the concepts here are, not really some, halos all of the concepts in group processes is derived from group work. Kasi nga, in terms of understanding environment, may grupo tayo, hindi lang family. We also have other groups na tinitingnan. At saka, or the family in itself is already a group. Kailangan din natin pag-aralan sa social environment. So group process. Group process meaning what goes on and what goes on between and among members. So may dalawang dimensions yan. First is ang goal-oriented at saka second is ang quality of interaction. Pag goal-oriented, meaning there is purpose or direction. Like for example, ito yung goal ng grupo natin, ito yung magiging purpose natin. So therefore, we will do to meet that purpose or that goal. And then quality of interaction. So along the way, may mga emotions or relationships na nade-develop. So that's also part of understanding dimensions in the group process. So ito, meron tayong overt and covert. Pag sinabi natin overt, nakikita. Pag sinabi natin overt, hindi nakikita. Pag overt, under goal-oriented, nakikita natin that we are really goal-determined. At saka, we are in for a goal first. Ay guys, pwede CR break muna tayo. 5 minutes. Pwede?
Yes, sir.
Balik tayo ng
Yes,
Kami rin.
9:20. 9:28. Okay. I have to take a break.
Okay.
May tanong si Sir AJ Villasor. Ano daw nangyari? Sir, nag-break muna, sir. Parang feel ko, si Sir ba to or ma'am? Parang natutulog na si parang natutulog na si Sir AJ. We are on break po. 1 more minute.
Nag-CR ba sila, sir?
Sabi ni Sir AJ, ano daw nangyari? Marami na nag-out no? Kanina 90 plus tayo, ngayon 73 na lang.
73 na lang. Break for what, sir? Toilet ba sila, sir?
Ako yung nag-break and then.
Okay.
Tapos yun na masagutan yung 100 items ko na question.
Yes po. 150 actually. Nauna yung 50.
Ay, 150 pala yun. 100 lang man yan, di ba? 100 lang yung binigay.
100 yung pero hindi pa na-process po. Although na-submit na.
Or baka iba yun na question. Yung
Pareho lang, sir. Foundation pa rin.
Okay. Yung sa akin.
Drill?
Nagbigay kasi ako ng drill for this subjects.
So mayroon na, sir?
Wala pa kami nasagutan, sir.
Wala pa nasagutan. 100 items
na post.
100 items yun, and hopefully ma-process natin yun. Nag-break na kami. Sorry lang. Uy, kutong 4 years, no? Huwag mag-break agad. If it's not reasonable. Okay, sige. Continue tayo. So yun yung goal-oriented ha. Key term natin there, pakisulat na lang. Pag goal-oriented, meaning there is purpose or purposeful or para siyang task-oriented. Okay? Pag sinabi naman natin quality of interaction, this pertains to the relationship. So, ang covered for the goal-oriented, the values at the norms that relates to goal-oriented. That dito sa quality of interaction, ang overt natin or ang medyo nakikita natin is ang role differentiation, ang magkakaibang role ng different members of the group, communication interaction, who interacts to whom, and then conflict resolution at saka behavior control. And then, ang covered natin is ang emotions. Kasi, part of the relationship or interaction is really the emotions behind. So, we have basic and derived processes. So, ang basic processes, pag competition, manahin natin cooperation. Pag cooperation, they are in mutual aid or alliance of the person. Then, pag competition naman, there is an opposition and struggle. So, meaning, ang competition ay self-centered. Example, kayo dito, you enrolled in a review center and then all you wanted to do is to really advance yourself, like ace the exams that the review center is giving you. And then, here comes conflict pag hindi ka na focus sa self mo, but also you're focused to competing with others. Example, hihingi siya ng reviewer sa'yo or hihingi siya ng tanong or ng sagot for the questions. Hindi mo ibibigay. So, nagkakaroon ng conflict. Kasi, you're not only you're no longer focusing now on yourself, but also you're focused on how will you overcome the opponent. Okay? So, conflict is derived from competition. And then accommodation. Accommodation is a process which flows competition at saka conflict. Nagkaroon ng conflict or competition, may bangayan between the two. And then ang accommodation is, okay, let's talk about this. And then, ang identity nila ay hindi pa naman nawala. Ang identity meaning kung who they are, hindi pa naman nawala. Ang kaibahan niya with acculturation, kasi ang acculturation, walang competition or conflict na nangyari. Dito sa accommodation, mayroong competition or conflict. Sa acculturation, fairly close and long continued contact but do not blend with each other. Same thing with accommodation. For example, dalawang grupo na nagre-review sa isang review center. Dalawang grupo na review sa isang review center. So, ang accommodation is, nag-away sila because of a material. Okay? So, yun. Then, they come into terms na, ay, hindi na lang tayo magkaaway. Meaning, I will give you my materials, kung ano man yung mayroon sa akin, and then you also give us kung ano yung mayroon sa inyo. So, exchange tayo. So, there is an accommodation. But still, their individual, their group identity hindi siya nawala. Sa acculturation, walang conflict na nangyari. It just come to terms na both groups will come together and then they will share their review materials. But they do not really blend with each other. Meaning, or their identity, hindi pa rin nawala. Okay? So that's acculturation. Ang amalgamation, different ang konsepto niya kasi it will really apply to Americans marrying Filipinos, yon. And then, ang kanilang anak ay magiging mixed race. So yun, mixed din ang culture. So there is amalgamation. And then, ang assimilation is cultural fusion. Kaiba siya with accommodation at saka acculturation kasi ang assimilation, nawawala na yung identity ng grupo. Like, they really blended with each other na. Nagiging one group na sila. Kuha ba? Medyo magulo or nakuha yung mga key terms. I hope it is clear. Next, essential concepts in group process. So first, we have group dynamics or the changes or study of relationship inside the group. Group structure, meaning the arrangement of interrelation of all parts of the group. Later on, i-discuss pa natin ano yung under group structure. Group purpose or yung general aim of the group. I believe each group may mga general aim talaga yan. Right? Example, ngayon, your group is really, you wanted to place or maybe pass the board exam. And then group composition, pag sinabi natin group composition, yung size at saka yung type ng members or yung personal characteristic ng grupo. And then lastly, some group roles or the behavioral guidelines or the the norms. So roles, meaning ng roles, these are the things that we are expected to do or ano yung inaasahan sa atin. The norms we are ought to do, ano yung dapat natin gawin. At saka yung status natin or the evaluation of worth. How valuable are we? Do we think of ourselves? Parang ganun. So that's status. Okay, characteristics of a social groups or groups is first, members interact significantly, meaning they have deeper or closer na interaction. Okay, members share common identity kasi hindi naman kayo mag-group if you don't share common identity or sense of belongingness. Aba, if you don't feel that way, then you will probably move outside of the group. And then members expect one another to adhere to a special and distinct set of norms. May mga social controls or norms or rules and regulations na ini-employ isang grupo before ka or during your stay in the group. Example, ito yung mga fraternities, di ba? May mga certain or distinct set silang norms before makapasok ang isang member. So that's really part of it. Nagpapatato, mga ganong bagay. So yun. Then we move to understanding what are the different types of a group. Meron tayong sinasabing formal at saka informal groups. Pag sinabi natin formal groups, there is a formal organization of that group. Okay? Pag sinabi natin ganun, may mga organizational chart ba or institutionalized ba ang grupong ito. Unlike informal, it just happens naturally. Hindi siya pinilit or forced. Natural lang siya na dumating. So formal groups includes command group or determined by structure. Pag ito, ang division na to or ang specific members ng group na to, ang kanilang task ay ito or ang kanilang ang structure na to, for example, they are on technical, so ang trabaho na ay for technical. So task group naman, specific task. Ba? If ito ang task natin, sino ang, example, in conducting a training, sino ang nasa technical, sino ang nasa documentation, sino ang mag-co-host. So that's a task group. And committees handling problems outside of regular assignments. So may mga different committees na nire-reinforce ang grupo. Okay? And then informal groups naman, it so happen lang. Like, for example, social groups such as chat group. Right? Or pwede rin ditong family, informal. Or friends. Right? Chat group. Then, ang interest group naman, it's something that you both have or the members has common interest. So, yung mga marites, like youth group, ganyan. Mga kapitbahay natin, chismosa, they are interest group. Nagiging informal siya because they are formed to talk about your life para pag-usapan ka. Diba? Next. Okay, we have also primary at saka secondary groups. Pag sinabi natin primary, ang kanyang type of relationship ay gem and shock. Pag sinabi natin secondary, ang kanyang type of relationship ay Jessel's shock. Ang primary group, ang kanyang relationship ay gem and shock in a way na, for example, sa rural, kahit magkakalayo sila ng bahay, their relationship with each other is very close. Like for example, nasa kabilang bayan, not bayan, so napakalayo. Nasa kabilang tawag nito, bahay pa, malayo pa, mga nasa 200 steps pa. So, wala kang ulam. Okay? Wala kang ulam. So, if you're in the rural area, parang okay lang na you would go to the other side or sa mga relatives mo, kapitbahay mo to ask for ulam. Kasi nga, yung tipong grupo nyo ay primary, you're very close to each other as compared to the secondary group, which is closely related dito sa urban. Na, for example, you are really in an apartment or in a boarding house or in a room, na even though even though you're in one roof, pero magkakaiba kayo ng room, hindi kayo nag-iinit or you're not talking to each other. Diba? So that's secondary. The lesser your relationship or your interaction with the person. Itong primary mas close. Okay, we also have natural at saka formed group. Parang kanina lang, informal at saka formed. Pag natural group, it comes together spontaneously. Like, it's not really your choice. It so happen na nagkaroon kayo ng ganitong grupo. Formed group naman, you come together by some outside influence. So there is an influence that put you together. Example ng natural group are your friends, families. Ang formed group, example, your organization of your co-workers. Then we also have in-group at saka out-group. Pag sinabi natin in-group, the individual feels at home or feels that the individual belongs. And then the out-group naman, the individual does not feel a sense of belonging. Then we also have other types of group. Discuss na task group kung ano. It pertains to activities na kailangan i-accomplish. Pag treatment group, medyo maliit lang yung grupo dapat. At saka dapat it help meet personal needs of members. Example, treatment group on cancer patients. Informal at saka skills building recreational groups provide activities for enjoyment at saka exercise. Example, yung like nagkakaroon ka ng mga team building activities, yung mga ganon. So that's a recreational group. Then educational groups, like ito, we are on an educational group. Like we wanted to enhance or I wanted you to teach specialized skills at knowledge on this matter. Problem solving at decision making groups such as developing a treatment plan to solve a certain problem or issue. Then focus groups, ito yung medyo ginagamit ng social workers on field, like the focus group discussions, which are convened to discuss specific issue or single topic. Yung problem, yung number 5, more on, ang focus is longer or wider in scope. Itong focus group, single issue lamang or topic na they thought kailangan ng urgent attention. At saka lastly, hindi pa last, may corresponding pa. Self-help at saka mutual aid group share certain problems and meet regularly to help each other. Mutual meaning lahat may ambag para sa pag-meet ng goal ng each other. Then socialization groups to develop attitudes and behaviors that are more socially acceptable. So after, for example, mga aftercare programs for drug dependents, yung mga children in conflict with the law, pwede silang magkaroon ng socialization groups para turuan sila on how to socialize back to the mainstream society. And then, meron din tayong sensitivity at saka encounter training groups or yung mga training. For example, we attend in a seminar or training, workshops, nagkaroon tayo ng different groups. So yun, ito yung example nun. Sensitivity at saka encounter training groups. We have to improve our interpersonal awareness and to learn. Now, we move to the structural properties of groups. So, pag sinabi natin structural properties, meron siyang different structures or aspects. First is ang size. Ang size refers to the number of persons in the group. So, ano ba yung pinaka-ideal size? Ano yung pinaka-ideal size? 8 inch. Guys.
7 po.
7
10
inch.
po.
Joke. I'm joking ha. I'm joking. Ano, ma'am? 6 to 8. Okay.
11 po.
11. Pag magkakaroon ng may GCash ang ang may correct answer. May GCash ang correct answer. 7, 5, 10, 10, 11, 8, 2. Ala, bakit naman 2? 10 to 15. Wala pa. Konti na lang.
7 to 14.
7 to 14. 6 to 11. 10. Look, marami pang hindi pa pala kayo.
5 to 15, sir.
5 to 15. Sige. Ito pa. 10 to 20.
17.
Okay. Sige. Ano yung ideal size ng group? Wala talagang ideal size ng group. Okay. Bakit? Bakit? Ma'am Aisa, pwede ipakita rin ko. Ano po, Ma'am Aisa? Parang nag-glitch. Okay, thank you po. Okay, wala pong walang basta odd. Yeah, correct naman. Kailangan talaga yung odd kasi in terms of decision making, may nagbe-break ng time. So size ng group, walang ideal po. Walang ideal, okay? Kasi depende ho yan sa purpose ng grupo or sa goal ng grupo. Kung ang grupo nila or ang type of group or objective ng grupo, kung ang grupo nila ay ang treatment group, konti lamang. Probably around 7. Pero kung educational group naman, probably pwede siyang maging 30. So depende ho siya sa objective, goal, or purpose ng grupo. Wala hong exact number that we could say na ito talaga. Wala. Group pala yung tinanong. Oo, wala akong exact. Depende ho sa objective. Alam ka naman, sabihin natin, 7, sir. O, 7. Pagkatapos, educational group. Diba? Hindi siya tugma. Sabi na, 30, sir. And then, treatment group. Imagine, i-treatment mo ang 30 members sa isang grupo. Hindi siya. Walang exact or ideal na number. Depende siya sa purpose, objective, at saka ang goal ng grupo. Okay?
Ano
Sige,
ba
next
yun?
tayo. Oo. Tricky, no? Tricky. Basta, kahit naman basahin nyo ang brown book, hindi ho nakalagay doon. Kalagay talaga na, depende yan sa objective ng grupo. Role structure. So, this refers to the socially, pag sinabi nating role, refers to the socially recognized pattern of expectations related to the social functioning. What a person is expected to do or expected to behave in a group for a certain position he or she occupies. So, mayroon tayong classifications of roles member play in the group. Pag sinabi natin task role, meaning these are the roles that are directed towards achieving the goal. Example nito ay ang initiating, seeking information, at saka opinion, and etc. So, task roles pertains to the task or the achieving of the goal. Pag building naman and maintenance role, hindi siya nagpo-focus sa task or sa achieving of goal, but nagpo-focus siya sa relationship, interaction within the group. Helping the group function as a whole, example niyan, harmonizing, gatekeeping, yung mga ganong bagay. And then, ito yung negative, ang personal role. These are the roles that hinders the group's achievement of a goal. Kasi may iba na withdrawn, aggressive, blocking. So, ito yung mga roles ng mga members na yon na pinapakita. Okay, communication structure. This refers to the communication process, to the process of transferring and sharing messages and meanings through the use of symbols like words, movements, and gestures and sounds. So, enumerate nyo nga ano yung mga different parts of communications. Guys.
Oral, written,
verbal,
parts.
oral,
Parts,
written.
hindi siya types. Sige daw.
Channel, messenger, sender.
Channel, receiver.
Receiver.
Tama.
Yeah.
Sender,
Message.
receiver.
Okay. Yeah, correct. Yep. Sender, message, receiver, at saka channel. And then yung iba, nilalagyan nila ng feedback. Okay? Sige. Yung types of communication, we have two. Ano yung two? Review natin to sa ano na lang, sa orange book. Ano yung two?
Oral and
Written.
Oral at saka
Written.
verbal at saka non-verbal. Tama ko? Hindi. Okay, correct. Verbal at saka non-verbal. Okay, ito. Pag sinabi natin, okay, letter. Anong form yan? Verbal or non-verbal?
Non-verbal.
Non-verbal.
Bakit non-verbal?
Letter lang man siya, sir.
Naku. Si Sir Gideon lang ang papasa sa question na yon. Si Sir Gideon lang. Bakit pala Sir Gideon? Bakit verbal siya? Kasi it use words. Tama. Yun key term natin dyan. Balikan ang orange book. Pag verbal, meaning it uses words, regardless oral or written pa. Pag non-verbal, it does not use words. Example, paintings. And then under non-verbal are the
Sign language, gesture.
sign language, gestures. Okay. Very good, Sir Gideon. Sige. Yan, movements, gestures, and sounds. Okay, ito yung mga types of communication ng mga group members. Maple role, from the leader to member and from member to leader. So ako, nagsasalita sa inyo. For example, I am the leader here. Given that I am doing the lecture to you. So ako yung leader, kayo yung member, and then from you also to me. That's maple role. Round robin naman, takes turn in talking. First na nagtutalk si Sir A, second na nagtutalk si Ma'am A, and then next naman si Sir B, at saka si Ma'am B naman. So, nagkakaroon turning. And then free floating, according kung sino lang yung, for example, I asked you, sino dito may mga experiences regarding sa courtship? Sa courtship. So yun, free floating, kahit sino pwedeng mag-discuss. And then ang hot seat parang si Dwight kanina, sinabi ko, Dwight, sige, share your insights regarding this. So naka-hot seat si Dwight, and then all other members watch Dwight or hear Dwight kung ano yung nire-respond niya with my question. Okay ba? Next, affectional structure, the liking or disliking of a member to another member. This refers to the interaction pattern based on emotional bonds. Pag sinabi natin emotional bonds, this is the liking or disliking of a person to another. So, forms of emotional bonds among group members includes pairs, pag dalawa, triads, pag dalawa, at saka may isang mediator, yung nasa gitna. Foursome, dalawang pair, so that is 4. At saka isolate or stage in French or mag-isa. Power structure. Ano yung iba ng power at saka leadership? Sige daw. Anong kaibahan ng power at saka leadership? Hello po. Anong kaibahan ng power at saka leadership? Hello po, naririnig pa ho ba ako?
Nag-iisip pa, sir.
Authority po at saka position.
Okay, authority. I think same lang po siya. You think? Same? Okay. Very good po. Regine May Dagohoy. Very good po. So, ang power meaning your ability to control. Ang leadership, your ability to influence. Okay? So, please do take note of that. So, pag sinabi natin control, ang control daw, according kay French and Given, has different, or ang power daw has different bases. So, first is yung reward power. I will believe in you kasi may ability ka na magbigay ng reward. Yun lang yun. Ang coercive naman, I will believe to you because may ability ka na mag-put ng punishment. Ang legitimate naman, I will believe to you because you naluklok ka sa isang posisyon. You have the right to be leader because you are being elected or put into that position. Expert naman, I believe in you because you have the expertness. Diba? May alam ka sa ganyang bagay. Then referent naman, I believe in you kasi well-liked ka or respected ka nakin. Nakin. Okay? That's referent power. Okay, so yun na yun. I will not talk to it further kasi matatakin nyo naman siya sa group work nyo. Ito na lang, basic lang dito kasi part din naman kasi siya ng environment. The leadership structure naman refers to the consistent ability to influence people in a desired ways. So meron tayong different leadership theories. Ang first natin is ang position theory, which the leader occupies the topmost position. Si leader, yun yung may pinakamalaki tawag nito leadership or has the power to do leadership, influence, kasi siya yung nasa may position. Ang trait naman, ang tinitingnan hindi ang position, kundi ang characteristics. Kasi according dito, leaders daw are born and not made. Like for example, mga monarchy na form of government, they use trait theory. May dalawang types ng trait theory, either charismatic or Machiavellianism. Pag sinabi natin charismatic, the leader inspires the followers. Positive siya na pagka-leader. Negative naman yung Machiavellianism, which the leader uses power for his advantage. Okay? Usually, nagmamanipulate siya ng tao on ground or yung mga nasa baba. Style theory. Ang style theory, pwede siyang authoritarian, meaning autocratic. Like, autocratic. Leaders have more absolute power. Absolute meaning siya talaga ang may power, walang iba. Democratic naman, diffuse ang power. Hindi siya nakafocus sa leader, kundi all the members can really talk and decide. Laissez-faire, minimum input or participation from the leader. Okay? Kasi ang leader may think na ang leader lang ang participation kasi kaya na ng mga members, pwede. Then situation theory, leadership is a function of a situation. So depende siya sa sitwasyon kung sino ang mas magaling dyan, siya yung may leadership or ability to influence if may ganitong nagkukur na event inside the group. And then functional, kasi ang ating grupo ay composed of different like subgroups na may different functions. So all in all, we function as a whole. So that's why it is a functional theory. Then dito na tayo. We're done with the group. Now we move to the organization. So there are two types of organization. We have the formal at saka informal organization. Pag sinabi natin formal organization, ito yung mga characteristics niya. Present ang concept of organization, which refers to the formal structure of roles and positions in an agency and how it functions. May different roles and positions. So para halo na din dito yung yung konsepto ng admin and supervision, group work, dito na din. So yun yung concept ng organization. And then the structure of formal organization present then, which is the actual arrangement and levels of an organization. At saka yung organizational chart or yung graphic presentation na may ganitong organization. For example, you have a group inside an organization, which is headed by your division chief, your section units, and then kayo. So that is a formal organization. Then there are models of organization. Sino yung father of bureaucracy? Hello, guys.
Sir.
Father of bureaucracy? Sino? Hello? Hello? Still there?
Arthur?
Okay.
Max Weber.
Max Weber. It's actually Weber. V. It's not We. That's how you pronounce it now. So bureaucratic meaning may rigid siya or preset na rules and regulations na kailangan talagang ito dapat ang gawin. Diba? Sa government, very bureaucratic. That's why very prevalent ang red tape kasi very bureaucratic. Then on the other hand, ang democratic naman, there is a strong participation and decision making inside the agency. Adhocracy, a blend between bureaucratic at saka democratic. Ang collegial naman emphasizes collaborative lifestyle na walang barriers. They are all functional or functioning as an organization. And for organizational principles, we have, hindi ko na siguro ito i-discuss further kasi madadiscuss sa admin na supervision nyo. Tinatch ko lang kasi part kasi siya of understanding organizational behavior, organizational processes. So division of work, unity of command, span of control, homogeneous assignment, delegation of authority, hierarchical and scalar principle, line and staff principle, division of labor, short chain of command, at saka balance. Sino ang nag-formulate ng organizational principles? Sino? Okay, paki-research. Assignment nyo yan. Then now we move to informal organization. Kung kanina ang formal, medyo formal talaga siya. Like may rigid or may organizational chart, may graphic representation. Dito naman sa informal, wala yun sila lahat. Like informal lang siya at saka unofficial at saka unauthorized relationships. Like for example, like an organization of acquaintance, like mga reunion, mga ganun, like formal organization, informal organization. Arises naturally existed within the confines of formal organization. If in case, for example, within a formal organization, may mga may sinusunod tayong organizational structure, and then after that, mag-i-stem yung different groups, which is also can be included as informal organizations. Reflects individual at saka group goals, small at saka manageable, pero unstable siya. Kasi pwede kasi siyang ma-diffuse. Okay? Unstable siya talaga. Concept of community now, we're understanding what is concept of community. The community is an aggregation of individuals and families settled, aggregation total, in fairly compact and contiguous geographical area with significant elements of common life, as shown by manners, traditions, at saka modes of speech. So, alam naman siguro natin ang concept ng community, a group of people or a group of individuals. That is a community. Okay? Ang group composed of one or more individuals. Ito, grupo na talaga siya, an aggregate of groups. There are 3 types of community. One time geographic, example, physical siya in space. Like Purok 1, Barangay 2, Zone 1, Barangay Ilang-Ilang, diba? Yun, that's geographical. Pag communities of interest naman, like PWD, senior citizen, women, elderly, yun. At saka virtual naman, online community. Like example, may mga Facebook pages tayo or mga study groups in virtually. So yun, that's under virtual community. Okay, community dynamics and processes. Ito yung mga dapat natin tingnan. So first is effect on physical environment forces. It really, kanina discuss na natin medyo or thoroughly ang physical environment. Like it really affects the community or the people inside. Ang technology, ang pag-advance ng technology, kailangan maka-adapt ng community with that. Okay? And then population movement, like for example, sa technology ngayon, na iba na mga hindi talaga nagle-learn how to use Google Meet or Zoom. That's why hindi nakakapag-attend ng mga meetings. So yan, it really affects the community. Then population movement or migration, like immigration tsaka immigration, right? Then industrialization or ang paglago ng ekonomiya ng grupo or ng community. At saka urbanization community institutions. Like marami ng mga different institutions, centers, offices inside the community. So yun yung mga changes. Now we move to understanding systems theory. Pag sinabi natin systems theory, it refers to the network of relationships of structures at saka their interdependence. I-term natin dyan network of relationship and then there is interdependence. Concepts niya, open system, meaning constant interaction with outside the group or outside the community. Then close naman, does not necessarily interact with the other system. Close na siya. Boundaries is the closed circle. Kanina na-discuss natin, it is really our identity. It pertains to whether we are healthy, enmesh, rigid, diba? Holon. Ang holon naman, we are seen as a system at saka a subsystem. Example nito, a community is in itself a system. Why? Kasi may mga different siyang subsystem. Ang subsystem niya, example, family A, family B, family C. Okay? So si community is a system in itself kasi may mga different siyang subsystem. And a subsystem also siya of a bigger system. Like si community ay bigger siyang system ng example, ng bigger system ng Davao City. Right? Or ano na lang, Purok. Okay? Purok na lang, geographical na lang ang pagtingnan natin dito. So si Purok 1, si Barangay 1 is a system in itself kasi nga siya ay parte or ng isang malaking system which is ang Davao City. Isa sa mga barangay ng Davao City. At the same time, system din siya. Why? Because mayroon siyang different puruks or zones. That is a holon. Okay? Then a subsystem, yung sinabi ko kanina, a part of a system. Homeostasis, kailangan ang all systems and its subsystems must maintain a stable relationship or a stable na status. Role expected to do, relationship, there's a dynamic interaction. Input, ano yung pumapasok within the group, like the synergy that is entering the group. Output, after processing that input, ano yung nilalabas ng grupo. Feedback, it could be positive or negative. Pag feedback, pag sinabi natin positive, meaning pwedeng i-replicate ang output na yan. Pag negative naman, there is a negative feedback na hindi pwedeng mag-continue ang output na yan. Differentiation from single to complex components. May mga different functions tayo within a specific community or group where we belong. And then ang ating roles starts with simple lamang, but later on nagiging complex na siya kasi we are into challenges or changes. Equifinality at saka multifinality, it's a concept under systems theory wherein equifinality meaning there is different means to only one end. Okay? Multifinality naman kabaliktaran. There is only one there's only one means to different ends. Na-take down nyo?
Yes.
Okay. Example nito, dito sa lecture natin. Okay? So, equifinality is that you are really doing everything. Yung iba, nagsa-study group. Yung iba, hindi. Different study styles. Pero isa lang ang goal nyo, ang pumasa ng board exam. Or pwede ding multifinality. You're only doing one thing, like studying. And then, ang ending nyo is not just for you all to pass. Yung iba, gusto nilang pumasa kasi gusto nilang mag-pusing pa ng masteral. O yung iba, gusto na nilang pumasa kasi gusto na nilang makawala sa fact na kailangan pa nilang mag-take ng board exam. So, mga different multifinalities. Then last is ang entropy. If in case ang input ay hindi properly na process, it would lead to entropy. Or meaning, there is a progress towards disorganization or madi-disorganize ang isang family or ang group or ang community. Types of social system, change agent system, meaning the agency, for example, CSWDO at saka DSWD. Client system, meaning our PWD, the kinds we serve. Then target system, change agent needs to change or influence, for example, family ng kliyente natin. Action system, example nito, barangay officials or tanods. Professional system, we have the pathway and NASWay where we belong. At saka problem identification system, it's anybody na pwedeng i-refer ang kliyente natin sa atin. Okay, we move to ecological perspective. Sino ang theory nito? Theory is pinaka-main proponent ng ecological perspective. Sino? Sino ba? Guys?
Ron Brenner.
Okay, Yuri Bronfenbrenner. So, under it, okay, we have to understand the concept of ecosystems theory, wherein it describes and analyzes people and other living systems and their transactions. So, kung kanina, medyo there is an understanding of interdependence. Ngayon naman, transactions. Okay, Concepts under it, the transactions, it's basically the communication and interaction of all members inside a group or a group inside the community. The energy or the input, which is the natural power that goes in the group. The interface is the exact point. If they do transact, ano yung pinaka-exact point where they interact with each other? That's the interface. Ang adaptation naman, capacity to adjust. It doesn't necessarily mean na may problem. Pero ang adaptation is just adapting to what the environment calls for the group to do. And coping naman, there's a problem and then nang-cope sila. Kasi they are trying to resolve or address that certain problem. Interdependence, there is some mutual reliance. I need you need me. No man is an island. And then we have the levels of systems. Pag microsystem, meaning direct environment we have in our lives, meaning our lives, us interacting with our environment. So basically, a point of interaction natin or a point of point of reference natin or ang point of attention natin is ang tao mismo for microsystem. Ang mesosystem naman is ang like family groups wherein us is interacting with or our clients are interacting with. Okay? So ang point of attention natin is doon sa grupo na kung saan nabibelong ang ating client. Ang macro system bigger, like for example, political, societal, or community social problems. So that's macro system. It's really an ideology. Okay? Then, ano itong exosystem? It does not necessarily affect the child. Example, an exosystem is the workplace of the mother. Ang kliyente natin ang kanyang anak. So, nawalan ng trabaho ang kanyang mother. So, basically, hindi directly maaapektuhan ang bata kasi hindi naman siya yung taray ni Sir Gideon. May facility Sir Gideon. So, yun, exosystem. So, hindi naman necessarily na ang anak ay tawag nito, hindi necessarily ang anak ang nawala ng trabaho, ang mother lang niya. But, if nawala ng trabaho ang kanyang mother, maaapektuhan ang anak. So, that is exosystem. Does not directly affect that client or our child. Chronosystem naman, these are the transitions at saka shifts. Example nito, may divorce, loss, loved ones, yun. Yung mga certain shift natin sa buhay. That's pertain to transitions early. That's chrono time. A time in our life. Okay? Si Sab naman, Michael. Nagdodraw si Michael. Sige. Ito yung picture niya. Di ka na siguro itong i-discuss. Okay. Stop muna tayo siguro dito. Tomorrow, we will continue the class. Mga ano na lang to. 10 slides na lang. And then, we will topic. Okay. Any question po? May katanungan?
Wala, sir.
Realizations?
Ang
Okay,
lawak.
comments. Ito, comments. Comments para at least may adjust tayo tomorrow. Ano ba? Sige daw.
Ang lawak.
Anong ang lawak na? Bakit ang lawak na?
Ang daming diniscuss.
Mabigat kasi ito na subject. This is one of the hardest subjects way back in our college. Like, yeah, mabigat talaga ito. Actually,
Sir, do we start?
Sa pinakamababa. Yes, ma'am. Ha?
Mag-start na rin tayo ng late bukas, sir? Tatanong lang po.
Sorry, ma'am. Kasi, kanina, supposedly dapat, I was supposed to start at 6 p.m. Pero, yun, hindi ako nakalabas kasi, hiya naman ako kasi nag-uwi ang mga kasamahan ko. So, I will try tomorrow na nag-start ng 6 p.m. talaga para para matapos tayo ng early, like 9, probably.
Okay po.
6 p.m. tomorrow, ma'am.
Thank you.
Hopefully. Yeah, I really understand. Kasi ang attention span ng tao, maliit lang. Like, nasa ano lang, 2 to 3 hours. Move 2 hours na lang gani. Gabi pa naman tayo nagdi-discuss. Wow. Kawawa talaga yung mga work. Sige, thank you. That's noted. Okay. I will take note of that. Tomorrow, we will start at 6 p.m. Huh? Ay, sorry. I will change it. I'm sorry.
Sir, may link
Important
mo,
to change.
may link mo ito sa YouTube.
I don't know with that. I guess siguro mayroon.
Meron po,
Kasi
sir.
naka-live
Naka-YouTube
ako sa
live tayo.
Oo. Yes. Ito naman si ma'am. Ang cute mo, sir. Ma'am, wala ho akong piso. Ay, ma'am, may laman po ang Gcash ko. Pakisend na lang ho. Paki-direct message ng Gcash number. Sige. May mga tanong? Wala? How was the discussion? Sige daw. How was the discussion? Was it fast? Medyo madami ba? Or ano ba?
Quite fast, sir.
Fast? Okay.
Quite fast. But maybe it's too late.
Overloaded.
Overloaded, yeah.
Medyo madami po, sir.
Pero hindi naman
Halo-halo,
pero
sir.
halo-halo talaga. Pero hindi naman siya ganyan talaga kahirap intindihin. Unlike talaga sa theories of personality na each concept, you have to really put
yes,
so
sir.
much attention to it.
Understandable naman siya. Kaya lang marami.
Yeah. May tanong, sir, sa HBSC po ba, pasok din po ang social work practice? Usually, ang social work practice nandun yan sa mga methods or sa area 1 to 3. Ay, 3 to 4 to 5. Kung may mga retaker dito, alam nila. Pero yung mga first time, ang sa board exam, mahirap talaga itong HBSE. Like, you do not know what to come out in the board exam. Kaya, kailangan siyang pag-aralan.
More on situational, sir.
May mga situational. Actually, isa to sa pinakamababa ko na area. And I have to be honest with you, pinakamababa ko sa board exam. Though I placed na sa boards, pero isa talaga to sa pinakamababa ko, itong HBSE. Aside sa, nag-take ako ng wala akong tulog. Like, legit, wala talaga akong tulog because, tawag nito, like, na-excite talaga ako sa board exam kasi I have waited for that time during me taking the board exam for 4 years. And then, here it comes. Then yun, hindi ako nakatulog. Like, naghalo ang kaba, excitement. So yun. At saka, pagtingin ko ng questionnaire, ang hirap talaga ng questions. Like, may tanong doon sa batch namin. Ang tanong doon, ito simple. I don't know, pero mag-share na lang din ako. Pero okay lang ba mag-share?
Lang po,
okay
sir.
lang ba mag-share?
Better.
Sir.
So, sa time namin, tawag nito, destiny, I don't know, pero I really believe in destiny. Okay? So, sa time namin, like, ang seat number ko is number 7. At saka, after the board exam, ako kasi yung tipong, parang may pictographic na memory. That I can really, parang, tips. Okay, sige. Last day. I hope magkasa ang oras natin. So yun, alam ko kung ano yung mga questions na lumabas. Like, natatandaan ko pa talaga yung mga questions na lumabas. And then, I counted it based on what really I know is the right answer. Kasi objective yung mga tanong. May 7 ako na na-count. And then, yun, ang daming instances na 7 is really manifesting. So, I really believe destiny yun. Pero, after I took the board exam, kasi before us, yung 2018 na board exam, ang kanilang ratings ay medyo matataas pa, like 85, 86, ang top notcher. Eh sa batch namin, it fell down to 83, ang top 1. So, sa batch namin, nag-start na ganun yung timplada ng mga ratings. Like, ang bababa na talaga. hindi na siya nag-50% ang pumapasa, unlike yung first na nagkakaroon pa ng tag 60% ang pumapasa. Sa batch namin, hindi talaga na, doon na talaga na nagsa-start na bumaba talaga yung yung ratings. And hindi ko talaga siya expected that I will place in the boards. And it so happened na lumabas yung results na una yung list, and then pag una ng list, nakita ko yung pangalan ko doon, like I really got very teary. And I was very, sabi nila sa akin, uy, tingnan mo yung top notcher, baka nandun pa. Yun yung first bungad na kasi, I don't know, sabi doon nila sa akin, expect me to place in the boards. But ako, hindi ko talaga expect kasi sa hirap pa naman ng board exam. Yun. And sabi, nag-pop up yung message ng isang friend ko, and sabi niya na I'll place down in the boards. And then, hindi ko siya expect. Why? Because ang hirap talaga ng board exam. Sa 7 questions ko na nilagay, na ginat down last time, isa sa mga tanong sa HBSC, sino daw ang proponent ng IQ test? O sinong proponent ng IQ test? Sige daw. Huwag mag-search.
Ano, sir?
Sinong proponent ng IQ test?
Ay,
Ha? Hindi nyo alam, no? So, ang choices doon, Simon Freud, Carl Jung, John Piaget, at saka Alfred Binet. So, asan dyan?
Baka yung last po.
Okay. Sa katangahan ko, I answered John Piaget, which is wrong. Kasi si Alfred Binet ang proponent ng IQ test. Okay. So, ano yung key natin na understanding there? Ano yung lessons learned natin there? Okay. Even hindi mo talaga alam yung sagot, all you have to do is really to paganahin ang iyong sentido commun or common sense. Right? Ang IQ test, imposibleng, kung alam natin ang proponent, imposibleng hindi natin alam kung sino. Like, so, ang IQ test,
Mute po.
Hindi ka na marinig, sir. Maingay.
Okay. Sige.
Matahol na as.
So, okay. Ano yung pinaka-important lesson learned doon? Okay, may mga tanong na hindi talaga natin alam yung sagot. And some of them, kailangan nila ng common sense. So sa akin, hindi gumana yung common sense ko doon. Kasi kung ang proponent ng IQ test, kasi kininash out ko na si Simon Freud at si Carl Jung. Malayo-malayo yun kasi iba yung sa kanila. Psychoanalytic theory. Dito lang ako kay Simon Freud. Kay Simon Freud at saka kay John Piaget at kay Alfred Binet. So, imposibleng kung theory siya or proponent siya under siya kay John Piaget, imposibleng hindi ko siya malaman. Hindi ko yun naisip, right? Ang bobo ko talaga doon. And then yun, ang tama ay si Alfred Binet. Hindi ko alam si Alfred Binet, pero sana hindi ko ito malalaman
Sir, choppy ka na.
Sir, di ka na naririnig. Wala ka na.
Hello? Wait lang. Hello? Hello?
Okay na po.
Hello po. Hello? Can you hear me?
Okay na po, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yun na yun. Parang sa akin din po. Yun. Ayun. hope na makadiscuss ako ng mga tips sa next time, by third day. May lumabas din doon yung Filipino psychology. Yung about sa surface values, pivotal values, core value, like kapwa, yung mga ganun, lumabas din sa board exam kay Virgilio Enriquez. Konti lang yung theories, more on maraming Philippine social realities. Yeah, maraming Philippine social realities. Yung mga question doon na like about oil during the 2000, ba? Who would think, who would study that? Ano that? Ano doon yung nangyari about economics nung time ng 1990? Basta, sa pagkakatanda ko, Philippine social realities during the time of 1998, 2000 at saka 2008, parang ganun. Ba? Who would know na ganun yung mga Philippine realities pala? Kailangan palang pag-aralan. Napaka-vague talaga nitong HBS at saka SWD. Sa pinakamahirap. Sige, questions? Tanong? Always keep your dream alive and keep them coming through. Yeah. Judelan. Questions? Wala na. Okay, wala na. Thank you. Noted all. Adjust tayo tomorrow. Thank you po. God bless.
Salamat, sir.
See you tomorrow, 6 p.m.
Thank you, sir. Good night po,
Salamat po,
sir.
sir.
See you again.
Ma'am Jera, thank you.